never stops, all these thoughts and the pain attached to them. Sometimes I wonder why this is happening. It's like nothing I can do would distract me when I think of how I shot myself in the back again. Cause from the infinite words I can say, I put all the pain you gave to me on display, but didn't realize instead of setting it free, I took what I hated and made it a part of me. Never goes away, never goes away. And now you become a part of me. You'll always be right here. You become a part of me. You'll always be my fear. I can't separate myself from what I've done. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you. Hearing your name, the memories come back again. I remember when it started happening. I'd see you in every thought I had, and then the thoughts slowly found words attached to them. And I knew as they escaped away, I was committing myself to them. And every day I regret saying those things, cause now I see that I took what I hated and made it a part of me. Never goes away, never goes away. And now you become a part of me. You'll always be right here. You become a part of me. You'll always be my fear. I can't separate myself from what I've done. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you. Never goes away. Never goes away. It never goes away. It never goes away. Get away from me. Give me my space back. You gotta just. Everything comes down to memories of. I've kept it in, but now I'm letting you. I let you go, so get away from me. Give me my space back. You gotta just. Everything comes down to memories of. I've kept it in, but now I'm letting you. I let you go. And now you become a part of me. You'll always be right here.
How are you doing,
You
Strim?
become a part of me. You'll always be my fear. I can't separate myself from what I've done. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you. I've let myself become you. I've let myself become lost inside these thoughts of you. Giving up a part of me. I've let myself become you. I watch how the moon sits in the sky on a dark night, shining with the light from the sun. The sun doesn't give light to the moon, assuming the moon's gonna owe it one. It makes me think of how you act to me. You do favors there rapidly. You just turn around and start asking me about things that you want back from me. I'm sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy up in for my head. Maybe someday I'll be just like you and step on people like you do and run away all the people I thought I knew. I remember back then who you were. You used to be calm, used to be strong, used to be generous, but you should have known that you wear out your welcome, and now you see how quiet it is all alone. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I'm so sick of the tension, sick of the hunger, sick of you acting like I owe you this. Find another place to feed your greed while I find a place to rest. I wanna be in another place. I hate when you say you don't understand. I wanna be in the energy, not with the enemy up in for my head. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take the best of me, go away. You try to take there are just too many times that people have tried to look inside of me, wondering what I think of you when I protect you out of courtesy. Too many times that I've held on when I needed to push away, afraid to say what was on my mind, afraid to say what I need to say. Too many things that you said about me when I'm not around. You think having the upper hand means you gotta keep putting me down, but I've had too many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine.
1 minute you're on top,
the next you're not, watch it drop,
making your heart stop.
just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot,
making your heart stop.
you think you won, and then it's all gone. So many people like me put so much trust in all your lies, so concerned with what you think to just say what we feel inside. So many people like me walk on eggshells all day long. All I know is it, all I want is to feel like I'm not stepped on. There are so many things you say that make me feel you cross the line. What goes up will surely fall, and I'm counting down the time, cause I've had so many standoffs with you. It's about as much as I can stand, so I'm waiting until the upper hand is mine.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, watch it drop,
making your heart stop.
just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot,
making your heart stop.
you think you won, and then it's all gone. 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 Now it's all gone. I know I'll never trust a single thing you say. You knew your lies would divide us, but you lied anyway. And all the lies have got you floating up above us all. But what goes up has got to fall.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, watch it drop,
making your heart stop.
just before you hit the floor.
1 minute you're on top,
The next you're not, missed your shot,
making your heart stop.
you think you won, and then it's all gone. 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 Now it's all gone.
Alright, chat. How are we doing today? Bear with me 2 seconds and you'll be able to see my screen. Probably put some music on in the background as well. How are we doing? We've got Ruby, Diz, Amp, Jotun, and Monolith. Hi, and hello. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. Interesting how that works then. For some reason, let me just, there we go, that should work now. As for why VTuber Studio is not on, I am... Why am I not visible? What happened here? Air capture specific window, VTuber Studio, it's very much on. Hold on. What is happening? Oh, there I am. Took a hot fucking minute, but there I am. Not sure why it popped me right in the middle, but you know what? We make do. We make do. Alright, how are we doing, chat? How are we doing? Monolith is currently on a 3-stream streak. Hello, welcome, and thank you. And Jotun resubscribed with Prime. All good, that's what we like to hear. We have bits and bobs today. We've got a little bit more on Lakari, got a little bit more on Tectone, and we've got Piers Morgan's show to go through. And after that, we'll see. Might do a shorter stream today. I'll definitely be playing some Bloodborne in the background. How are you, big man? Quite okay. Glad that it's Friday. Weekend now. I know some of my Americans are still at work, but not long now. Not long for sure. More on who other than Tectone? Lakari, right? That's his name. Lakari, right? This dude, the one who had the sussy folder. Not folder, sussy notepad, really.
Last week.
We'll get to that later. Interesting things are happening with Tectone. I'll tell you. Do you know what, chat? Actually, first of all, let me boot Bloodborne, so I've got that going on in the background. I am absolutely enjoying seeing all the people who are now disavowing Tectone, all of the friends and whatnot, suddenly saying that they're against Tectone and they cannot support him anymore, and they wish to separate themselves from him. And like, it's been pretty well established for at least a year and a half, I want to say, that he's a rapist. There's been enough evidence, I want to say, for everyone to sort of be able to... Like, it'd be really difficult to make the argument that there's nothing there, you know what I mean? And then Tectone himself was not making it any better. But hey, it's time to finally now separate their ties. Now that the court has confirmed that there is enough evidence, at least for them, to feel like Tectone is in fact a rapist. Now, it's not quite where we're at. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but you know what? We take our dubs where we can. Hold on, you're not seeing the game yet. You will see it in a sec. I am currently having the shit beaten out of me. By two big enemies, and I cannot make Bloodborne visible until I've sorted them out. Oh, that guy. Yeah, there is a little bit of a continuation of sorts going on in that I'm not very clear on the exact lore. I'd have to... Obviously, we're probably going to find out from the video itself, but I think Lakari's ex-girlfriend has come forward and said a few things, and I think Miskiff might have misled people about at least one thing to do with the ex-girlfriend specifically. Not to do with Lakari, to be clear, but with the ex-girlfriend. Let's see if I can make it so that you can actually see Bloodborne, because that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Hey, oh, there we are. Look at that. And we've got, obviously, a little bit of Twitter, a little bit of slop. Might as well start us off, slowly but surely. Let me head back here. So we've got a Yeet post, and I've got the original post as well. We'll be reading from there. But Pinky calls out Legal Mindset for his handling of her and Tectone's court docs. Says he failed to redact leaked docs while live, which caused her to get doxed. Calls out the recklessness while reviewing the docs and disregard for safety. Investigation into matter is pending. So this is the original post from Minky. Hey Michael, and the original post from Pinky. This is the quote-unquote lawyer, Legal Mindset. I will, every time Legal Mindset's brought up, I feel like it's almost a duty of mine to remind people that he did, first of all, a stream on how many underage women are pushed into prostitution in Thailand. And then he made another video on how to get cheap prostitutes in Thailand. Which is just, you know, very curious of a thing to do. And I feel like it's almost like a social duty to bring that up whenever this dipshit gets brought up. But so Pinky says, this is the quote-unquote lawyer, Legal Mindset. Sorry. Yeah, this is the quote-unquote lawyer, Legal Mindset. Posted unredacted, leaked documents that were meant to be sealed live to thousands of people to dox me, putting my family in danger. How have you been? Quite well, Pass, quite well. How about you, my friend? I'm glad to see you in here. We're worried about you and your safety. Looks like things have escalated that since I last hopped on your stream, so I'm on the run back to Canada again. Yeah, it's been rough out there, hasn't it, mate? How are you faring? How are you doing? Legal Mindset. This is... When is this... Fuck, I've seen this post before. When is this post from? I need to double check, because there is no shot that Legal Mindset, the lawyer dude, is so fucking retarded that he's tweeted this out anytime recently, right? I need to find his... how the heck did he become a lawyer? The standards are very low now. To be fair, anyone can become a lawyer if they study enough. With Legal Mindset, however, it's sort of fascinating because there was a big question as to whether he actually is a lawyer or if he's just lying. Because whenever people would try and look into it, he would start banning them. And he introduces himself as Andrew Esquire. And for a while at first, people couldn't find anyone with that name and surname in the bar. Now, we've since confirmed that he is, in fact, a lawyer. He is in the bar. He didn't lie about that. But we've also found out since then that he ran away from America because he was in debt and the authorities were coming after him. And Thailand is one of those places where apparently you can just run away to. And he did. His whole, like, men going east thing that he does is rooted in the fact that he made bad financial decisions in America, got in debt, couldn't pay it, was being chased by authorities, and fucked off to Thailand. Yes, he is Chido, yeah. As future Secretary of State. I want to know when this post is from. I fucking hate the new Twitter so much. It's such a dogshit platform. Finding this is just not going to be possible, is it? It's going to be so fucking annoying. Hold on, let me see if I can maybe reverse. Actually, fuck it. We'll try and figure out later when it's from. But so we've got Legal Mind said, as future Secretary of State, I would approve the attractive female visa. We will call it the DD visa. Of course, I will need to do regular in-depth reviews of the applicants to ensure the administration is properly doing its job. May need a long PP for this one. And he is quote tweeting somebody, some Mr. Obvious dude saying, guys, I changed my mind. The USA should allow all attractive female Mexican illegal immigrants and ban all men. White women will form SS brigades overnight. Trump should hire me for Commissioner of US Customs and Border Protection. I'll solve the immigration crisis instantly. And this is Pinky right here. I am not sure why he's quote tweeting Pinky with this or posting her images. I'm very much unclear on what the fuck is going on here. But the bottom line is that Legal Mindset is going through docs that are about to be redacted. And it's just very curious. The whole thing is just interesting. Pinky followed up saying, I was going to stay quiet and work through with authorities, but he is in Thailand. It's disgusting how someone would recklessly review documents that say unofficially on them because they aren't for the public and read them with disregard to anyone's safety. Not sure what I can say, but I'm told the county is doing an investigation on the matter. Thank you for the streamers that did take the time to redact information or not share it all. Now it will be a long process for me to move, but maybe it will be a new chapter for me. Now, obviously, I think we don't need to, at this point, I don't really think we need to relitigate everything. Tectone is a rapist. Pinky won her civil case. Legal Mindset is a grade A freakazoid, and we all spit on his existence. I don't think I've got any Legal Mindset defenders in my community. I don't think I ever did. My content naturally doesn't overlap with these bottom barrel dipshits. I do want to talk about Tectone a little bit more though, because I found something. I've been getting a lot of shit on my feed to do with Tectone, obviously, because whenever you click on one or two things, it will then bombard you with 7 million of that thing. And I found, people are pathetic, you know. People are pathetic in such a uniquely enjoyable way for me. I found this Don P. Bongwater. With bio reading, I'm an AI memologist of the highest degree. And so he effort posted. Just so everyone is crystal clear on this Tectone court shit, and regardless as to anyone's thoughts on Tectone, Pink invited Miskiff and his mod to court. Miskiff and his mod both repeated this statement over and over, as did allegedly Pink in court as the case was not open to the public. Miskiff talked shit about the court proceedings immediately after and spread a narrative that was skewed in favor of Pink. To be clear, Pink won the case. It would be remarkably difficult, actually it wouldn't be difficult to spread a narrative that's favorable to Tectone, but it would be an incorrect narrative. It did not sound like an impartial telling of the hearing, and was instead focused on putting Tectone in the worst possible light. Pink's lawyers filed a motion to seal only her medical records. The court case itself was made public and has been public throughout the duration of the case. Also not true. Chido, you can call him the F word. I will allow it. Her medical records, to my knowledge, have not been leaked and have been indeed redacted by the court. Sealing medical records does not redact anything else. The entire court docket was available to the public. No, it wasn't. With Miskiff being the first person to talk about the documents. Miskiff went through the trouble of redacting her name only, which is not redacted in the court documents in any way. Obviously, they're court documents, you fucking moron. That comes later if she... whatever. And blatantly left Tectone's information for anyone to see. The court did not do this. Miskiff intentionally showed Tectone's live info live on stream. People read the documents available with inexperienced eyes. Many people read them with assumption or didn't understand what was being said. This led to people throwing more accusations at Tectone, which Pink made no statement on. Fucking hilarious, the reading here. Legal Mindset talks about it and gets hate for remaining impartial. He is not impartial. He is a huge Tectone lickspittle. He would literally... Tectone has a thing where he forces women to suck his dick against their will. He wouldn't have to force Andrew Esquire from the fucking... whatever is... what was his name again? Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset would gladly fucking lick his taint day and night. That's just how these people operate. So he's not impartial. Immediately, the court documents become a problem when a legal professional begins to explain them in great detail along with actual definitions of legal terms. He is notorious for getting basic legal terms wrong. The narrative starts to fall apart as people begin to understand what is actually in the documents and aren't making judgments based on feelings. Also didn't happen, to be clear. Legal Mindset then got the transcript and it was not in favor of Pink. It showed the opposite of what Pink and Miskiff have claimed. I have seen people retract their statements critical of Tectone after this was made public. None of this happened, to be clear. This is like a figment of his imagination. He lives in the reality he constructed himself. Which is ironic, because he's an AI dude. Constructing his own reality is literally what he does. Pink is now saying the document shouldn't have been leaked, even though she leaked it through Miskiff already, allegedly. Curious usage of the word here. This is an assumption based on the obvious communication that is implied by Miskiff in statements and in documents Miskiff showed that he only could have gotten from Pink. Legal Mindset did nothing wrong in what he did. It's a whole bunch of bullet points that is just... The dude's fucked in the head, but he's fucked in the head in like this very particular way where the only courtesy I'd ever show him is pissing on him if he was set on fire. He is just a... These people are reprehensible, but he got me curious. So I checked out his page and I've noticed, followed by Legal Mindset, Kershaw, and Nux. He's also followed by Tectone, but I don't see that because Tectone got me blocked after I made a video calling him raped on 8 times over that got 2,000 views. Tectone was one of those views. But I checked out his YouTube channel and I've noticed he makes AI videos that are really, really weird. He's got 210 videos, and if you on his channel type in the word Tectone into the search bar here, Tectone, 51 of his videos, 51 of the 210 have the word Tectone in the fucking video name, and he's got videos like this one, the one we've just seen, Truck Nuts on a Cybertruck, which includes Tectone, but does not mention him by name. So you've got some absolute bottom-of-the-barrel fucking lickspittle scum who makes money off of Tectone's name, essentially, by creating bizarre AI videos. He is followed by the gallery of morons like Nightmare, Blunt Rotation, fucking Kill Me. And it so happens to be the case that he's very pro-Tectone, you know? Very impartial delivery on this one. Very interesting. Fucking idiots. How the hell are these people real? I'll be honest with you, Joey. I don't know if they are. I don't know if these people are real. Don P. Bongwater might just be a fucking government program of some sort to try and see what they can sneak past us. Hi, Shepan. How you doing, buddy? What a strange fucking thing taking place here. I remember liking his first video that I've ever seen before seeing all the crap about him a day later. He's such a weirdo. Is that Legal Mindset, silly, or is that someone else? My first introduction to Legal Mindset was also quite pleasant, insofar as he was covering some niche drama. I'm trying to point to when it might have been the Fruit drama that he was covering, where I started getting a really fucking weird vibe. And then the more I'd look into the dude, the creepier and creepier and creepier it was getting. Did some shit with my knee. I'm barely walking. Sounds like El Quattro, my friend. Ian, I'm just saying, you know. It was his Ethan stuff. Oh, for me it was way earlier than that. The Ethan stuff was obviously not good, but for me it was way, way earlier than that. It was, when I started hating the dude, when I started hating the dude, Ethan Klein was still on very good terms with Hassan. I have to go to university tomorrow. Well, yeah, but I'm thinking of El Quattro for work, you know. I don't know what the fuck these little things are, but they're very tanky, and I have a feeling that if they hit me once, I die. Amp, what are these? You'll know. You like weird, creepy, crawly shit. Amp probably knows what these are. Amp probably knows them by name. Those are babies. I am pro-abortion. Apparently, including when the fetus is... What is this going to be, fucking 36 months old? Bigger than that, actually. This is a... I don't know. I've got a saw. And these are the times of Victorian England. If I gotta get my hands dirty, it is what it is. Let's see. Moving on from Tectone, because I don't have much more about this. Just want to highlight, and we'll probably continue wanting to highlight for the foreseeable future, that he is in fact a rapist. Let us watch, before we move on to the Lakari stuff, I kind of want to watch Piers Morgan, because Piers Morgan has been, I think this case of ICE murdering Alex Pretty the other day has finally made Piers Morgan realize that maybe some of these unhinged cunts are in fact unhinged cunts. And he did a thing where I think is arguing with people who believe that, you know, in fact, you should be executing American civilians in the street if they so happen to either be leftist, which is strictly off limit, or brown, which is strictly off limit, or, God forbid, brown leftists, the most fucking hated ethnicity by American Republicans. Celestial Children are, I think, the name. I don't know. They're not very... I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna kill him, I reckon. It is what it is with that one. I saw Hassan in a bad light when after he said they're technically baby settlers. Oh, I disliked Hassan way before the baby settlers comment. He got banned on Twitch. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's only a week ban. It's for the Zionist pigs insult, which is explicitly forbidden by TOS, and also, I believe, specifically forbidden by TOS on account of Hassan. Like, he's... Oh, shit. That is a lot of damage from these crow motherfuckers. I've gotten used to the other ones, the ones that don't hurt as much. Jesus. On account of Hassan's chat. Might have been that, actually. I just know that it was something to do with Hassan. Frankly, I don't remember the details because I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? He's done so much bannable shit, so has Asmongold, that, like, it's very clear that whatever Twitch ends up banning these people for, it will never be enough. It can't ever be enough. But also, yeah, I trust that you guys will all be familiar with ICE murdering Alex Pretty. In case you're not, then yeah, that's exactly what they did. Killed the dude. A lot of damage. A lot of damage on that one. A lot of damage. Yeah, that was painful. Took me down a few hits. Asmongold is more careful, just as much of a shithole, but issues. No, silly. Asmongold is currently the biggest Twitch beneficiary of the Trump syndrome, where he says so much unhinged shit constantly that people no longer give a fuck about any specific instance of it. But no, trust me, he hasn't been careful for a while. Like, he is fucking mental. And has been recently. Like, it's just bad, man. It's just legit really bad. Oh, shit. Okay, nice. Where the fuck are my souls, though? Lost those. Rev tried to talk down to Miss Lala just because she uses a 90s character design for a VTuber or thinks that she's Republican just because Rev is a fucking moron. I was talking about that yesterday, Kathy, before you showed up. We went through all of the tweets and everything. I'm probably... Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been doing nothing but playing Total War Warhammer recently. It's just, I don't want to do anything else. I want to get up in the morning and play Total War Warhammer until I go to bed at night. I don't want to do anything else. There's literally nothing that I want to do currently. But assuming I can finally deal with that like an adult instead of staving it off until it inevitably bites me in the ass, I do want to make a video on that recent Rev spectacle because it's still ongoing, and it's just really interesting how Rev brought all of this on himself. What campaign? Oh, Merit, I wish it was just one, bro. I wish it was just one. I've done Elsbeth. That's the only one that I've completed so far. And then I keep starting different campaigns like endlessly. There's so many. I'm doing an Ykrit one for Skaven. I am doing the fuck, what's the dwarf? The one that you have to get a DLC for, the one who he starts with the other dwarf and the human duo combo from the books. Who am I thinking of? I'm obviously doing Aislinn from the High Elves because I find him just really fucking cool. I'm trying to do Tyrion from High Elves as well because I feel like jumping straight into Aislinn is a bad idea. I'm doing one playthrough of the Chuffs. I've modded the fuck out of the game. I have 180 mods going on currently, and just every day I find something new that I want to try and do, and I don't want to do anything else. Malachi, yes. Malachi I've really been enjoying. Malachi's gimmick with the spaceship, not spaceship, sorry, the airship is real nice. I like him a lot. Malachi's good, man. Probably my next playthrough that I'm actually going to finish is going to be Malachi. Then, who's the Black Dragon from Grand Cathy? The one who starts on the other fucking side of the world and he has to deal with the Skaven filth and the Empire trying to colonize Lustria. I'm doing that one as well. That's a banger one too. I'm genuinely enjoying that one. Although I will say, I'm having a real hard time, like, making my... Hey, bro. I'm having a really hard time making a good unit combo for Grand Cathy. Oh, shithouse. That's a werewolf. Maybe not that big of a deal, actually. Oh, maybe it is going to be that big of a deal. That was painful. I'll probably heal through quite easily, though, right? Yeah, there's just been a lot going on with Warhammer, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why the Twitch redeems are not working, because everything's plugged in on my end. Something might have gotten fucked, but it shouldn't be. Oh, no, hold on. Partially connected Twitch broadcaster. Hold on, let me see if I can fix that real quick. Because it should be a quick... Okay, it says I'm connected, though. That's interesting. Why would it say that I'm not connected if I am, though? Huh. Might have to do without redeems for today. It do be like that sometimes. Is your weapon broken? No, why would my weapon be broken? My weapon's perfectly fine. I'm just lower level than I should be in this area. I'm lower level than I should be anywhere because I'm not dying nearly enough and I'm just blitzing through. That's also why I am currently doing this instead of the DLC, because I've googled around today and I found out that people recommend you fight Ludwig the Accursed at around soul level, I think they were saying 75 to 80, and I'm soul level 58. So I'm like a decent fucking chunk behind where the game recommends, or where people online recommend I should be to fight him. Which explains why I'm doing fuck all damage. So I think I'll be doing this instead. When I played Cathy, I used mods to flesh it out, but they didn't have DLC at that point. I have both. I have the DLC and the features that come with the DLC, and I've got mods that properly... The fuck is going on here? Oh, is that 3 werewolves, is it? Interesting. Alright, that's a number. That's a number indeed. I don't really want to fight 3 werewolves, though, you see. It's a number that's a little bit too high for my comfort, really. It's not cool, is it? Do some Chalice dungeons. Shithouse. Shithouse! Fucking fuck. Fuck. Shithouse, yeah. I was doing really well and then I fucked up. It do be like that sometimes. Rev saying you're a Republican because of your VTuber art style is like those people who believe I'm conservative because I'm into bodybuilding. Rev, the whole thing with Rev and hers is even dumber. He didn't imply... this is what Rev actually did, because this is the fucking insanity of it. Rev didn't even imply that she has to be a Republican. Rev implied that she's LARPing like this 1950s diner aesthetic. And police brutality in the 1950s was really bad. So Rev was saying that she doesn't get to be against ICE today in 2026 because police was much worse in the 1950s. Like, it's not even that he was saying that she's a Republican, it's just what he was saying makes no fucking sense. In, like, no matter how you want to bite into it, no matter how you want to analyze it, what Rev was saying is so genuinely brain dead that you cannot describe it with words. What Rev was saying would be like if you... Do you guys remember my previous VTuber model? The one with the horns and shit. You remember the old one. What Rev did would basically be like if somebody watched my stream and then said, you don't get to share your thoughts about American politics because you exist in fantasy medieval Japan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense. It is... The level of retardation behind a sentiment like that is so profound, you'd need to leave it for scientists to study, because there might be a new mental disability that we're not yet aware of, and we're too harsh on Rev, whilst in reality he might simply need government assistance. Like, what he said about her is so genuinely moronic that you could probably write a really solid chapter in a book about mental fucking disassociation to properly describe just how stupid it is. I am genuinely... It's like the level of flabbergasted that I was when I read through it for the first time was... Oh, okay, you're just coming at me straight away, are you, two dipshits? Fuck. Hey, I can cheese them in the doorway, can't I? Like I did a moment ago. Are they going to be able to get through the doorway or no? Hehe. Hehe. I'm going to fuck him up now. Missed that one though, didn't I? The ugly one. Yeah, it was bad. I'm just trying to... It would be like, I don't know, if Shy Lily said something about politics and somebody said, you don't get to have this steak, you're an orca, and orcas do not understand geopolitics of America. Like, do you... The fucking stupid... The sheer stupid... That's the peak of this. Rev's entire sponsor, Advanced GG, is currently under the worst fire that they have ever been, purely because Rev is a moron. But anyway, I feel like we've circled this long enough. Obviously, I'm always happy to insult Rev because he is genuinely one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet Earth right now. But I'm kind of curious about this Piers Morgan thing. So let us jump into this. What his sponsors say. Oh, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, man.
To get in their faces, Piers, and disrupt a legal federal duty. I don't do that. You know why, Piers? I'm not dumb. You don't do that.
What we're seeing is protesters being demonized, people being criminalized, and innocent people being executed in the streets. This is a horror.
Everything that Mark said is factually false. Unlawful this, unlawful that, Constitution this. Give me a second, Piers.
No one there, including Republicans, voted for what we are seeing. What I saw in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, was the terrorization of ordinary Americans.
You're lying.
Could you let me finish?
Lying. Why
Could you let me finish? Have you been in Minnesota recently? Have you been in Minneapolis? Have you watched it? Because I have,
No,
and I
why
can
the
tell
hell
you.
would I want to go to Minnesota?
Right, okay, because you believe
Oh,
what you
I
want to
know
believe.
this dude. Who is that dude? The Republican, the one that was red in his face. I know his, I've seen him before, and I remember not liking him, but I don't remember who it is.
That's what I want to focus on. Is this is awful. Everybody's heart is breaking for a host of different reasons.
Let's just end with a simple question. Should Alex Pretty have been shot? Within weeks of taking office, President Trump had sealed the southern border. It was rapid and effective leadership, ending a ludicrous open-door policy which even the Democrats had given up trying to defend. Now, 1 year on, Republicans are increasingly struggling to defend immigration action under Trump. A majority of Americans very clearly want...
I'm sorry, right off the bat, that's an incredible way of describing the events there, right? Such a bad policy that even the Dems aren't defending it anymore. Fuck me. And it wasn't the one that had my souls, right? Oh no, I did get them back. The Dems were... Bro, they had a way to solve it. They had a way to address the border crisis, and Trump was the one who told the Republicans to bury it. Jesus, Piers is such a cunt. Even when he's gonna be arguing for a good cause, he's such a cunt.
Tougher
hey Lou, how are you doing? Thanks for the subscription.
A candidate who promised mass deportations for undocumented criminals. But did they really vote for the detention of 5-year-old preschoolers, as we saw last week? Did they really vote for the killing of American civilians by law enforcement officers? 37-year-old intensive care nurse Alex Pretty was killed at a protest this weekend.
Shit.
Well, I feel the same way about this as I did about Renee Good, who was also killed by protesting against ICE in Minneapolis. You can debate the details, and I'm sure we will, but the crux of the matter is that Alex Pretty was not a domestic terrorist, and he didn't deserve to die. The ICE agents are having a tough time, that much is clear. Protesters have been whipped into a frenzy by politicians who want them to feel like they're under attack from the Gestapo.
I thought he's dead.
But branding civilian protesters as dangerous terrorists and attempting to implausibly justify these deaths is now having the exact...
Could you lower the music just a smidge? I can pause the music. I can't lower it just a smidge because it is on the lowest smidge it can be. But I can just turn it off for the time being.
Effect. President Trump says the administration is reviewing everything. He spoke to Governor Tim Walz and, surprisingly, says they're on a similar wavelength. Trump will be well aware that if it carries on like this, a very bad situation is only going to get a lot worse. To debate, I'm joined by Vincent Ashana, PBD podcast Angry Patriot, Mark Lamont Hill, host of Bet News, Lewis Goodall, the broadcaster and co-host of The News Agents, and Gillian Michaels, the host of Keeping It Real. Welcome to all of you. Mark Lamont Hill, let me start with you. Like all of these things, none of this is easy. It's complex. A lot of Americans believe that what Trump's done on the border is good, closing it down after the very porous border that we saw under Biden, with millions coming in illegally. That doesn't suit anyone's interests. A lot of people believe that if you're in America already undocumented, illegally, and you commit another crime, you should be deported. That seems to be general consensus. The flashpoint is about people who may have built their lives in America but came in illegally, who may have been there a number of years, contributed to society, brought up kids and so on. And secondary to that flashpoint is ICE going around urban cities and raiding people's homes, raiding people's workplaces, and getting into now what seems to be constant running battles with protesters, which are leading to people being shot dead. And, you know, I can tell you, looking at this from afar in the UK, where I am at the moment, it's pretty horrifying. What is happening here?
I think you've used the perfect word, and welcome back, Piers. It's really good to see you in good health. This idea of horror and it being horrifying, I think, is right and exact. The government is essentially waging war not just on people who are deemed to be unlawfully here, which is an entirely different conversation that we can have because it's far more complex than just saying Americans don't want them here. I don't think that's true, and I don't think that that's the full story, even if it were. But you're seeing citizens being waged war upon. We're watching protesters being deemed enemy of the states. We're watching unlawful raids at homes and in workplaces. We are seeing an assault on the Constitution. And one of the things that will be seen in court very soon is whether this...
Just as a reminder, Trump has already determined that both Renee Good and Alex Pretty were, in fact, domestic terrorists. Because it does work, just like that one ICE agent said, right? The one that was, there was some woman mouthing off to an ICE agent, and he said that if she mouths off to him, then she becomes a domestic terrorist, right? And that is, in fact, exactly how that works.
Has been such a judicial or such an overreach that it constitutes a violation of the 10th Amendment right of Minnesota's right to state sovereignty. We'll find that out. But regardless, this is not the solution. This is not the way to solve whatever problem we imagine, because what we're seeing is protesters being demonized, people being criminalized, and innocent people being executed in the streets. This is a horror.
Vinny and Shauna, great to see you. I've never seen you looking so smart, which may suggest you're viewing this with a new gravity. So, first of all, what's the tie all about? I've never seen one uncensored with a tie.
I just felt, Piers, I had to step up my game. You're always professional, so I want to be professional. And I want to, A, thank you, Piers, for always having me on. And number two, that you're healthy and you're a strong man. You'll be back. Piers, I want to say one thing to you. Do you know what I don't? By the way, everything that Mark said is factually.
Oh yeah, Piers broke his pelvis or something. He fell down the stairs or some shit. That's what the strong man shit is about.
False. Unlawful this, unlawful that, Constitution this. Give me a second, Piers. Do you know what I do, Piers? I carry a 9mm Hellcat Springfield gun. It's on me right now, okay? I protect myself. I protect people that are around me. I was in the military. I was on the Air Force shooting team. I'm that guy, Piers. You want to know what I don't do? I don't take this gun and go to a federal agent's ICE event, which he was on signal, this guy, Alex. Purposeful on signal. It's
no, Cheetah, we don't know if that was specifically what he moved there for, but we know that it was a happy side effect is a decent way to describe it as, I think.
All coordinated to get in their faces, Piers, and disrupt a legal federal.
Speaking of Trump, he just said publicly earlier, I want to raise the price of housing. The full quote is so much worse than that as well. The full quote was that he doesn't want to make housing more affordable for those of us who want to buy a house. He wants to make houses more expensive and worth more for those of us who already own a house. Like, I remember there's this fucking TikTok, it will haunt me till the end of my days. There's this TikTok of a happy couple like being all fucking giddy and jumping and shit because Trump was won, and the caption says that we'll finally be able to afford our first home. I hope that happy fucking couple steps on a Lego and hurt themselves.
Duty. I don't do that. You know why, Piers? I'm not dumb. You don't do that. And by the way, Piers, the gun that he had, little fun fact, is a Sig Sauer P3 20. All right, that gun, there's a bunch of lawsuits for Sig Sauer. That gun goes off just unintentionally. The firing pin goes off. Right.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it does or if it doesn't. He was legally allowed to have that gun with him. He was legally allowed to purchase it. He was legally allowed to carry it. He was disarmed by ICE, and then they fucking murdered him anyway. Who gives a shit if it's not a great gun to have? Like, yeah, it probably didn't help. Who cares, bro? It's just amazing how quickly anti-gun Republicans have become. Just counter these arguments with Rittenhouse. Absolutely true. Dude, I have so much respect for people who can stay consistent with their politics, and none of these motherfuckers can. None of these motherfuckers can.
But the thing about, yeah, but Vinny, on that point, Vinny, I've seen that report about that gun. We don't know that it discharged itself. There's no evidence that it did at the moment. What we do know from that video...
But Piers...
Well, hang on, Benny, hang on.
Go ahead.
Here's my point.
Hang on. Obama deported 11 million Somalis. Hang on. Deporter-in-chief. I'm sorry, I don't like Piers. I genuinely don't. It's just every time he says this hang on bullshit, I wanna say mean words.
Point before you finish. My point about this is, the guy, you know, I've had the complete opposite argument about these situations going back 20 years in America, which is that, you know, I agree with you. I don't think people should be armed to the teeth all the time going to do any things like this, right? And yet this is the very argument used back at me, which is that actually, yes, he had a perfect legal right to carry that weapon.
True.
And to carry his ammunition.
Yes.
At no stage in any of the videos have I seen him, has he been brandishing that weapon or trying to shoot anybody or pulling that weapon or anything like that. In fact, the opposite. What we see is a pack of 8 ICE officers descend on him, and one of them very clearly reach down and take this guy's weapon out of his holster on his waist and take it away, and he is then shot with the first shot a second after that when they know he's unarmed. So every part of
That's the thing. I don't even think that they knew he's unarmed. These people have such dogshit training and such dogshit fucking... These are high school dropouts. It's a fucking miracle. The only reason why we know these people are able to form full sentences is because we can hear them threaten civilians all the time. If not for that, and you wanted to genuinely tell me that you're dealing with a bunch of illiterate fucking troglodytes, I'd probably believe you, actually, given everything that I've been seeing. But I don't even know if they fucking communicated with one another that they've disarmed him. Bro, these people are... It's just insane.
This fails, but so does the logic. I have to say, to me, there's an hypocrisy on the conservative right, which is that I've always been told, right to bear arms, Second Amendment, no one can interfere with that. Yet when this guy does it, suddenly this is wrong. I don't remember that being the way the Kyle Rittenhouse debate was framed. Right?
Let's
I didn't see people
go.
on the conservative right then saying that. They said the opposite.
That's right.
Oh, Piers, I'm not... Hold on.
Fuck.
You're talking
I'm not
about a
dealing with two of these
military
at once.
veteran
Fuck
pro
off.
Second Amendment. I'm not saying any of that. But if you're going to go there and disrupt and get into a fight, because Piers, all of you are watching this slowed down, nice video. It's happening in seconds in real time. And my point about the gun is...
Ooh, what a shame it's happening in seconds in real time. It's almost as though a lot of this could have been avoided if these motherfuckers had appropriate training, which they do not. That doesn't sound like my problem though, does it?
Piers, my opinion, when they disarmed him, he doesn't know the gun is gone. It goes off. He's still reaching for the magazines, which he thinks are a gun. But let me, Piers, here's the point. Why is this all happening in Minnesota? Can we stop? In Texas...
What a vile cunt. What is his name? What is his... He goes by his, like, full name, right? We have to make a different version of it where we change his name or his surname to some kind of an insult. There's got to be something that I can do that I can just randomly call this dude to disqualify his arguments. Give it to me, chat. Who is this dipshit?
Texas, there's 10 times more illegal deportations. You don't hear none of this, Piers. None of this. You know why it's in Minnesota, Piers? Because Tim Walz, Mayor Fry, Ilhan Omar are pushing for people to get in their faces.
Ilhan Omar, I didn't show this to you guys last stream because I forgot. Ilhan Omar was attacked at some speech that she was giving. Some dude walked up to her and started spraying some random shit in her face. And she had the most remarkable fucking reaction to it that you could have. First of all, thank fuck that it wasn't like acid or anything like that. Whatever the fuck he was spraying. She said that she's going to finish her speech, that she's going to finish what she's talking about. But right before she did that, you can see that she lifts her hand up and she's getting ready to fucking hit him in the face. And it's such a... I have to... It looks so... It's clear that she doesn't know how to punch properly. And it adds to, like, the goofiness of just, like, what an incredibly based fucking reaction on reflex to have. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's so clear that this is a foreign situation, and yet she's just ready to start fucking swinging. Because if some cunt attacks her when she's giving a speech, she's going down fighting. And there's just so... Like, she squared up, though. That's what I'm saying, Diz. It's so remarkable that she did that. The squaring up was just... Mwah. I will always respect that shit. Like, if she's going down swinging. And that is so incredibly based, in my opinion. Fuck. Fuck, no. Fuck off. So much effort went into this. Okay, I can get back here. I can get my souls back. I can go back here. Fuck me, this area's rough.
And do this type of stuff. Under Obama, you didn't hear any of it, okay? And he deported way more people than Trump. He's kicking Trump's butt in deportation. But I want to know something too, Piers. It's funny how all these leftists, all these Democrats, like last week when it was that 5-year-old kid, oh my God, he was detained. No, his illegal father ran away and abandoned him, all right? Nobody here even knows that freaking kid's name. The mother didn't want to take him. I'm just curious, everybody on the panel who's here. Does anybody know who this is? Mark? Lewis? Anybody? This is Ivory Smith, 7 years old. She was in her mother's car, and a freaking drunk driver, illegal, hit her and killed her, okay? Do you know who this is?
The illegal just, was he allowed to just leave and there were no consequences of any kind for him whatsoever? Or are we comparing situations where you've got people who murder US citizens and then get dubbed as fucking, those citizens then get dubbed as domestic terrorists, and you're comparing it to some illegal dude who ended up going to jail for it? Saying this, right? He keeps pictures of other people's kids on his phone. Shit, true. True.
You guys want to talk about Alex being a nurse? This is Laken Riley. She was jogging in school, and guess what happened? A guy raped her, tried to rape her. She fought back for 11 minutes, and then he crushed her head. Why wasn't she on the news? Why?
True. Do you know what? I actually agree with the angry dipshit Mac. Fuck. I've lost all of those souls now, haven't I? I fucking hate this game sometimes. I agree with this dude 100%. I think that ICE should go to Minnesota and start executing American citizens because an illegal raped a woman elsewhere. That math just, it adds up in my head, you know? It just makes sense. It's just, yeah. I can see the future where that is, in fact, where my politics are at, you know? What are these Fifi's arguments? Look at how fucking red he's getting. We're not getting anything other than Fifi arguments in here today.
How did you hear about her? And lastly, you know what this is?
Put them all
Jocelyn
on the news.
Nungaray.
I think all of them should be on the news
curious.
already.
Well, I think they were. I think they were.
She was strangled. Wait.
But Vinny, they were on the news. They were on the news.
She was strangled.
They were on the news.
Okay, and her throat was slit, and she was raped by 2 illegals. All you guys care about is headlines, Piers. You know why? Because Democrats are hemorrhaging votes. At the end of the day, this is all
ICE
votes.
is
Why else do you want illegals? You're fighting so bad to
civilians.
have them in here to count on the census so that Democrats can keep power, Piers. Plain and simple.
You know the irony,
Stop all this nonsense
Vinny,
that you guys care.
Vinny, the irony is the polls at the moment suggest what's hemorrhaging votes is the activities of ICE, and in particular where it's leading to these deadly encounters. That is hemorrhaging support for the Trump administration, and we're only a few months away now from the midterms.
He's the most popular.
I think
Piers.
Well,
he's the most popular.
You don't think it
what
is?
do you mean? The poll came out last week. He's popular. It's, Henry Enton just came out with the poll that Democrats are having the horrible percentage, and it's been the lowest of support. Piers, this is all emotion, and what I'm telling you is all the same thing happened for Obama. And you know why, Piers? You're
that's a bit
across the pond
ironic
and you're
of him
seeing
to
it
say
because
that.
you're watching CNN, you're watching MSNBC, and that's their agenda. Plain and simple.
Actually, Vinny.
It's their agenda to showcase federal law enforcement executing a citizen? Yeah, I'd hope that's what journalists are going to do. The question is, why was the citizen executed? Why is this buffoon derailing the entire conversation with his profound fucking... whatever is going on? I don't even want to guess what the fuck's going on in his head.
Useful
Vinny,
idiots.
Vinny, I watch a lot of Fox News, and I watch a lot of the PBD. I watch a lot of PBD with a guy called the Angry Patriot. So you have no idea what I'm consuming here. By the way,
Angry Patriot, is that... I need to Google if that's who I think it is. Is the Angry Patriot, is that the dude who got fucking done for... hold on, I'm not levying this accusation until I fucking double check who I'm talking about here. Oh, no. Okay, the Angry Patriot, that's PBD. That's a different dude than the one I was thinking of. No, that dude's fucked in the head as well. Well, that's a different fucked in the head.
Since I broke my hip, I have nothing else to do but watch you. So don't mischaracterize me. I do watch the others too, because I like to watch what they're all saying. But I appear on Fox all the time, as you know. I don't take a side in this. I just want to try and get to reality. Small businesses drive our economy, but securing capital banks may not is a whole different.
No.
Perhaps.
Literally anyone else.
Again,
sure.
That's
you.
Really
no.
like weird things about these two shootings in particular is that we're all watching them on videotape, so we can all see from multiple angles what's happened. And yes, we should wait for the investigation. Yes, there might be new things that emerge which change perhaps the narrative. But I know what I saw with Renee Good. And I know what I
am I
saw
doing
with this
here,
latest
chat?
incident too. And there is no amount of person in authority anywhere in the world who's going to convince me that what I saw was a justified murder or a justified killing. Let's not call the word murder. Let's wait and see where the investigation takes us. But a justified killing. It just seems to me ridiculous overreach, probably by ICE agents who are not trained properly in crowd
True.
control of this nature, because the Minnesota police aren't getting involved. And that is a whole different area about federal v state and how they deploy the law enforcement, and about the politics of a blue state and a red administration and so on. But, you know, you're a fellow Brit like me.
Hey, Koto.
When we try and get into anything gun-related in America, it's a hot potato. They remind us they kicked us out of America with guns. I get it. It's an issue for America to talk about. We also, when it comes to immigration, we squeal about 40, 50,000 people coming over our southern border when it's estimated 10 million came over in 4 years under Biden. You know, massively, massively larger number of people. And a lot of Republicans say to me, I think with merit, that because Biden made the border so porous, and that there may have been a political aspect to it, because by doing so, he may have then had people in the country who might be more inclined to vote Democrat, as ever trying to ensure up support going forward. I don't know, but that's the theory. It makes some sense to me. That these are huge numbers we're talking about, and something has to be done. And if ICE don't do what they're doing, then how do you actually...
What do ACABers think of the police not complying with ICE? You'll have to ask them.
identify and remove people who are there in America illegally, and particularly the ones who commit heinous crimes.
Well, something has to be done, Piers. I would agree with you, and I would also agree that part of the reason this story is taking place is because political oxygen and space was created by the Biden administration. No doubt they lost control of the border, and no doubt politics of this on the left went too far. But no one voted in the United States, and I've not been watching it from afar because I've just come back from Minnesota reporting from there for the News Agents podcast. And I can tell you right now that no one there, including Republicans, voted for what we are seeing. What I saw in Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, was the terrorization of ordinary Americans. Everybody there, particularly if you're black or brown, has a story. They have started in the last 50 days or so, taking out their passports with them, taking out their documentation with them.
Yeah, we've seen this.
So scared are they about being accosted by ICE officers. Even legal American citizens are worried about being picked up and detained for however long, going to church, going to the supermarket, picking up their kids from school. No one in the United States, even Trump voters, voted for that. Much less did they vote for the killing of American citizens on American streets. And just to pick up what Vinny said, look, there is a reason that these people, many of these people, Rennie Good and Alex Pretty, completely model American citizens.
I'm
no
not a fan
criminal
of theirs
record,
either.
simply people concerned about what is going on in the community. Why are they out observing, just observing, not interfering, observing what ICE is doing?
That's a lie.
No,
That's a lie.
let me finish, Vinny, let me finish.
You're lying.
Observing, no, I'm
You're
not.
lying.
I saw it for myself.
Do you know what, Vinny's such a fucking retard. That's why I hate all of these fucking hacks, and I cannot tell you what that fucking... I will not break TOS today. I will not break TOS. I am such a big fan of there is not a bigger fan of the TOS than me. What Vinny is going to jump in on is the fact that not everyone who's observing is doing so safe. Like, not everyone's just there observing. Some people are there specifically to attack the police, not police, sorry, ICE. Some people are there to specifically obstruct ICE. And yes, I'm sure some are. The problem, however, is that ICE doesn't give a fuck which group you're in because they're troglodytes who are there to just hurt people. That's sort of the big issue of the conversation here. Hail TOS. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to go in this game. Does anyone have any tips? Do I need to Google this shit?
Observing.
Renee Good was driving her car and barricading
Can you
it.
let me
Why
finish,
are you lying,
sir?
Lewis?
Can you let me finish, sir?
No, don't
You're
sir
lying, but you're
him.
lying.
Call him a cunt. Don't, sir. You're gonna call him sir? Sir. Of all the words that you could use, this is a dickwad, dipshit, cuntosaurus fucking Rex whose entire strategy here is just gonna be to interrupt and be loud. So be louder.
lying.
Could you let me
You're
finish?
lying. Why
Could
was
you let
she
me
there,
finish? Have you
bro?
been in?
It's
Have you been in
fucking with her
Minnesota
car.
recently? Have you been in Minneapolis? Have you watched it? Because I have,
No,
and I
why
can
the
tell
hell
you.
would I want to go to Minnesota?
Right, okay,
Louis?
because you believe what you want to believe. I'm telling
You
you
want to talk
what
about
I
the video?
saw.
I saw the. Hold on.
I'm telling you
Louis,
what I
in
saw
all fairness,
for
in all fairness,
myself.
you think Renee good?
I'm telling you
because
what
you're
I saw
lying.
for myself
I'm
with
gonna
my
keep
own
letting the lie
eyes.
go.
People are observing, and why are they observing, sir? They're observing because they know that the federal government will lie about what ICE agents are doing. They have done that repeatedly. They do not wait, as any normal government would do, for an investigation. They do not wait for the facts to emerge. They do not wait to interview observers and people who were there. They simply decree almost instantly that anybody involved is a domestic terrorist. We have seen those lies about Alex Pretty exposed for what they are. He was not trying to massacre anyone, as the Department of Homeland Security claimed. He was observing because he knows that the federal government will lie. If these citizens don't come out and do what they do, they know there can be no justice. They know that these ICE agents will be able to act with impunity. And the proof of the pudding in that is what we have seen with Alex Pretty. If those observers were not there, then he would have been shot in the back as he was, with his gun in his holster.
And we wouldn't have seen 8 different POVs into how he had that gun taken off of him and both of his hands were on the ground and he was still fucking murdered. Not killed, not shot, murdered.
And the federal government would have lied about it. We would have had to believe what they said. Instead, we were able to see, because of the peaceful observations of the people there, we were able to see the truth, which is this was a man who was shot in the back, who was posing no threat whatsoever to those ICE officers. And even the reason that they were there in the first place proved to be a lie. That is the ICE officers. Why did ICE say they were there? They said they were there. No, let me finish. They said that they were there to detain an Ecuadorian, an illegal Ecuadorian, who was an ardent criminal. What did it turn out? The Minnesota Department for Corrections made clear when they got the name of this person. His only violations, illegal, yes. Was he a violent criminal? No. He'd had a few traffic violations on his record. Alex Pretty died for a man who basically had sped and gone too fast in his car. I don't think his death, killed in the streets by his own country's officers, is worth that, do you?
That is a dog shit argument. Oh, that's such an L. That's such an L, and from a Brit no less, I expected something better. He doesn't understand that they're now going to spin that into the fact that it was only a speeding violation because he didn't drive into anyone while speeding, whilst all of these other illegals did. I would forgive him with a blunder this silly, if not for the fact that the red cunt earlier was specifically talking about people being driven over by illegals. Like, you cannot, no, you can't argue like this, man. Not with this trog. Not that it really matters, to be fair. It's just a fucking scum, innit?
Lewis, all right, before I go to Gillian, Lewis, but what would you do, right? You're in charge of Homeland Security in the United States. You know millions and millions of people have come in the last 4 years illegally. They're in America. All right, there's a lot of anger about that with a lot of Americans. You've just seen Donald Trump come in with a thumping win on a mandate of dealing with this. If you don't do it the way they're doing it, how do you get these people, identify them, bring them to justice, and deport them if they're committing crimes?
I would do 2 things, Piers. I would obey the law, and I would pass immigration reform. If you obey the law, President Obama, Vinny's already said it for himself, President Obama was called the deporter-in-chief. He managed to deport millions of illegal citizens.
There have now been 2 times that the deporter-in-chief were brought up on the Piers Morgan Uncensored. And both of these times were by a Brit. It's just, I fucking don't have my Obama sound. We deserve the Obama sound.
He did that, and he didn't need to do that by employing what is basically a poorly trained paramilitary force operating with impunity, attacking citizens of the United States. And moreover, if you were to do what has long been necessary in America, which is comprehensive immigration reform, the bargain should have always been, the Democrats get what they want, which is a pathway to citizenship, particularly for children who have come over undocumented, but the Republicans get what they want, which is a bolstering of the border. That has been tantalizingly close multiple times. Normally, it's been Republicans, including now the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, when he was in the Senate, who walked away from it because they thought it was a good political issue for them to do. You do not need to deal with immigration by breaking the law.
Can I have 1 minute?
All right, very quickly, Vinny, and then Gillian.
How many ICE detainees died? How many detainees, illegals died under Obama? Do you know the number, Lewis, since you're so factual and you have the history report? How many?
How many
57 died under Obama.
Yes, and you know what else? And you know what else I know, Vinny? You know what else I know? That there was a federal process.
Let me finish. You said the Biden administration lost control. This is your direct quote. They lost control of the border.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you are full of you-know-what. All right, it wasn't lost control. It was on purpose. They opened the border to flood the country to bring in their damn votes.
Well,
and
how would they have been able to vote if they weren't
Texas
citizens?
Excuse me,
all right.
Let me finish. When Texas, the governor put a freaking barbed wire, the White House sued him and sent trucks to lift it up to bring these illegals. Enough of your nonsense. And don't talk about churches. You're talking about they're scared in churches. Look what the hell happened recently with the churches where the 2 BLM people came in there and the report just came out that they were telling the kids.
You know what? It sounds like you're saying, Vinny, that Rennie Good and Alex Pretty had it coming, and it's disgusting.
Today's show is sponsored by Oxford
fuck
Natural.
Off. You get one of these, a video, dickwad, not two. I'm skipping this one too. Ooh, Oxford Natural, Oxford these nuts.
Get back on point. Gillian, thank you for your patience and welcome back to Uncensored.
Thank you, Piers.
It seems to me in all of this, what I've been pleased about in the last 24 hours is that unlike with Renee Good, where there seemed to be just a complete void of humanity and any empathy for what happened to that woman, regardless of the circumstances that led up to her death, people were just...
Does anyone know what the fucking... the bit of the game that I was at just now, does anyone know what it was called? Because I don't know where the fuck it wants me to go now. I don't know how to go back to where I was a second ago. Upper Cathedral Ward, is it this one? Hey, Cheeto, thank you very much for the 1 month subscription given to Oscar the Sheep.
Just treating...
By the way, 2 US reporters were just arrested earlier, Don Lemon and Nakima Armstrong. Don Lemon, I've seen somebody post that in my Discord, but I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't looked into it yet. But I didn't know about the other one. I thought there was just one. Didn't know there were two. That's grim. But yeah, of course. I mean, it will keep getting worse. This is everything that's happening with ICE currently is fucking unhinged, bro.
It's like a pure political porn, right? You were either, she had it coming, she shouldn't have been there, she's a domestic terrorist, blah, blah, blah. There was no, like, empathy. This time round, I'm detecting that even President Trump realizes some of his administration on the airwaves was sounding completely ridiculous, calling this guy, Alex Preddy, a domestic terrorist, an assassin, somebody about to wipe out all these ICE agents. We know what we saw. That's obviously not what he was doing. He was actually protecting a woman protester who'd been thrown to the floor. Right now, should he have, given that he was armed, should he have engaged in any kind of struggle or resistance? Well, probably not. Okay, but the idea that we can't have incredible empathy for this guy, who's a medic,
didn't know this was going to be a boss
who's
fight.
now dead, who never brandished his weapon or shot anybody, and had 8 guys swarming all over him.
Fucking shroomies are
I just
after
find
me.
that it's gratifying we're not seeing quite the same reaction we did with Renee Good, but it's probably forced by the politics, which are increasingly damaging to the Trump administration.
I have actually heard each and every one of you speak, and I have agreed with pretty much all of you for the majority of what you're saying. With Obama,
I'm curious how you fucking done that, given that 2 of the people were rabidly going after each other. How that happened then? How do you agree with the majority of what 2 people were saying when they're saying sort of things that don't go together?
he did expand expedited removal, which is something put into place by Clinton with a Republican Congress to deny a lot of people due process. It was passed in '96. He also had no sanctuary cities. He was getting cooperation from the cities. Those were his cages. They did deport kids. And the only reason I bring this up is because we're so busy pointing fingers at each other. Okay, this woman bit an ICE agent's finger off, and they're throwing cinder blocks at ICE, and they think ICE is the Gestapo, and they're impeding, and they are. And then at the same time, you've got
I think that ICE is the Gestapo.
Bear spraying people and executing Alex Peretti. Like, all of these things are true at the same time. So the bigger question I have is, instead of trying to figure out who's more wrong, who's more evil here, how do we do what you just said and pass immigration reform? There is actually a bill right now that is bipartisan. It's called the Dignity Bill, and it gives the Republicans what they want, which is strong border enforcement. Literally, I have it right here. So if you want to employ, okay, so just hear me out, guys. If you want to employ somebody, you have to go through E-Verify to make sure that they're legal. Republicans will like that. You've got physical barriers at the border. You've got enhanced technology, 24/7 surveillance at the border. Okay, you can come forward if you've been in the country 5 years, okay? And you can apply for legal status. It costs $7,000, which will be paid over the course of 7 years. You have to pay back taxes. Now, it doesn't give you citizenship because you came in the wrong way, but the kids that came in here have access to citizenship. It funds itself. Like, how do we move forward?
She doesn't understand that that's not what they want, right? The concept of immigration is a political currency. These people want to use that currency for their own unhinged fucking end goals. Like, does she not understand that? Is she... Like, she's actually fucking trying to kumbaya this shit. Legitimately came in there like, well, here's a perfectly viable solution that leaves everyone happy. There was a solution that left everyone happy. And what did Trump do? What did he do? What happened with that solution? I'll tell you what didn't happen. It didn't fucking pass, did it? Because Trump told Republicans that we're going to vote yes to vote no. And they did. They obeyed him. That was a very weird boss.
Forward here. That's what I want to focus on. Is this is awful. Everybody's heart is breaking for a host of different reasons. And we got to move forward. Is this something
Have you played this before? No, Red.
that we could get behind? And if it is, go to house.gov and contact your local congressperson and tell them you want to get behind this bill or some form of reform, because that's what we need.
That is kind of based. I will contacting your local people and being like, yo, bruv, you have to support this. And then obviously not electing them the next time if they don't do that. That's based. That's local action. That's always good. The rest is kind of shit, though. It's not shit. It's ignorantly idealistic. It'd be like if you fucking walked up to a spawn of corn and you were like, well, dude, did you know that you can actually get all the blood that you could ever want if you just asked people for I don't know, for blood donations once a week? That's not how any of this works. These people are fucking evil. They don't want to find a good solution with you. They want the brown people that they don't like, that was probably what vote Democrats, to be fucking butchered in the streets. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, Mark Lamont Hill, immigration reform has been talked about for decades now. And yet there are a lot of points of agreement. Most Americans I've talked to think what Trump has achieved on the southern border is a good thing. And certainly by comparison to what Biden didn't achieve on the southern border. Most Americans are fair-minded and think if you're in the country illegally and you commit another crime that isn't linked to your status, you should be deported, right?
No, I meant to go in there.
You're abusing your position of being in the country. The rest of it, you know, America was founded on immigrants, and the rest of it is a much more contentious area. But I do think most Americans are fair-minded about it, and they want to try and find a way to navigate through the millions of people who've built lives in America and want to contribute and pay taxes, have kids, and all the rest of it. It shouldn't be that difficult.
It shouldn't be. But I think the problem is, and I agree with what you just said, not you, Piers, but the smart woman, who
Jillian,
said,
thank you.
Jillian, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I've been snowed in with the 3 on for 2 days, so my names are blank.
At least you remember my name, even if it wasn't for the right reason.
Indeed. Jillian, I agree with you. I think the presumption in what you're saying, though, is that everyone is operating under the same premise and that everybody has good intentions and everybody's moving in good faith.
Yes.
And I'm not convinced that people on either side are doing that. But when we see what's happening right now, in the Trump administration, it seems like the cruelty isn't just an unfortunate piece of a broader project. In some ways, it seems like the cruelty is the
life.
point.
Come on, bro. Let a brother do what a brother's got to do. Okay, he ain't in here insulting you. A little bit cringe, but you know, gotta shoot your shot.
And so if the goal here is to impose a certain kind of militarism and a certain kind of police state in very specific areas, then I'm not sure that a compromise is going to work. I agree that Democrats have been bad on this. I agree that, you know, Obama was a deporter in chief. I had criticism of Obama for that reason. So it's not that I think we should only focus on Republicans here. I think there's a bipartisan failure. And I think every midterm election and every 4-year presidential election, we see just how much political cowardice exists on both sides, because no one really wants to die on the immigration hill. So they all bluster and bombast. And then at the end of the day, nothing gets done. And we end up in the same place over and over again. I agree, though, finally. Yeah, I think we could come up with some it's just like guns. We could come up with some common sense regulations. We could come up with some things that are reasonable across the board. And then the devil that's in the details, we could work.
That's a boss fight, right? Summon Damien of Mensis. It's going to be this has the vibe of a boss fight.
Work through. But I think the big detail here that we haven't spoken about and that I think is important to speak about is that when we say immigration and illegal immigration, or that word that I hate, illegal alien, we're not really talking about everybody. We're talking about very specific groups of people, very specific ethnicities, very specific colors. They get a very different response from the average reasonable American than others do. There's a reason why we're looking at Somalis. There's a reason why we look at Mexicans. There's a reason why we're looking at Guatemalans, and we're not necessarily looking at all the same people from Eastern Europe or even Western Europe who also could be here illegally. We're looking at very specific populations, and I'm not worried. I am not unconcerned about the crimes that happen. I agree with you. If you're committing crimes here, that's a significant problem. I'm worried about the lives of the millions of people who are not committing crimes, and I'm worried about the stability of those children who were brought here with no choice involved at all. That's where I think we can reach some common ground.
Yeah, and you know, the Obama thing,
I don't want to hit him if he's not an enemy. He's just chilling. Do I have to hit him?
I was banging on about that for years. Even before this show and ever, because it always struck me as hilarious that I would go to these like liberal dinner parties and they'd all be ranting about Trump, and I would always do my favorite question: how many people did Obama deport in 8 years?
It is his favorite question.
They didn't know ever, had no idea, they couldn't guess.
Or they made
literally in a blue moon. Well, the number was, and they didn't care because it was their guy, right? And eventually I would say it was 3 million. More than 3 million.
Well, that was quick.
He was the greatest deporter pro rata per year of presidency in history, as he was the biggest bomber, by the way, Obama. Right? It's the same Barack.
But those were Democratic drones, Piers. That's different. Predator drones in Yemen and Somalia are different than George Bush's drones. Totally different.
Exactly. But here's my question for you, Vinny. Tim Homan, who actually I've had on the show, and I like Tim Homan. I think he's a decent guy. Sorry, Tom Homan. I like him as a man. I think he's principled. I think he's trying to do a difficult job as best he can. And I'm glad he's gone down to Minneapolis, and I hope they sort it out. It's encouraging to me that Governor Walz, President Trump are talking. I think that's an indication that Trump knows this has gone too far, and that people in his own administration have been massively trying to sell the public a lot of bullshit, frankly. But Tom Homan's on the record as saying there are 20 million illegal immigrants in the United States. 20 million. Now, if you try and do what they say they're going to do, which is remove all 20 million, that is going to have an incredibly negative impact on the United States economy. Right when...
Dude, they can't even remove them out of one city without butchering fucking US civilians. And you're talking about getting rid of all illegals. Are you delusional? Well, no, they are delusional. We know they're delusional. Fuck me, man. They think that you just have, what do? You just laugh at these people. What can you do other than laughing at these people? Ebrietas, Daughter of the Cosmos. I mean, cool title.
And it can least afford it. Do you genuinely want, you, Vinny Ashana, want 20 million people removed from the country?
Piers, I'm going to tell you something right now.
Yes. The answer is yes. And if you could maybe kill half of them so that they definitely can't come back, Vinny would be jacking his meat right the fuck now. If he had a button that gets rid of one illegal immigrant, and for every fucking 10 of them, one American citizen dies, he'd be clicking that button until there is nobody left in America. And he'd be jacking his meat whilst he's doing it. The audacity to ask that question as though we don't know the answer.
Yup. Okay, and when you guys say stuff like,
Possibly
who
Monolith.
voted for this? 77 million people voted for mass deportation. And Piers, I am so sorry. It's not just criminals. It's everyone that came here illegally, from a murderer to a freaking Uber driver who's taking American jobs, Piers. My mother, my grandfather, my family from both sides came here and they waited. They did it the freaking legal way, and we're all doing well, okay? We came here the right way. Why does anybody get a pass, Piers? Why is it? Why is it? It's everybody, okay? A sovereign nation gets to pick who stays and who leaves. And just a quick, fun little fact, Piers, because nobody likes to talk about facts. Did you know that murder is down 20%, the most it's ever been in 1 year? Why is that, Piers? Fentanyl
Murder
overdose,
is now 20%.
heroin overdose. There's so many percentages that are down, and everybody, I think it was the New York Times, was like baffled. They're like, what could this be? How could it happen? This is what the real Americans voted for, Piers. And I'm sorry, Obama, I saw a video today from 2013 where he goes, hey, kids are getting taken away. It looks bad on camera and XYZ, but hey, it has to be done, Piers.
If you wanted to make that argument, that would already make you unhinged. They're killing US citizens. That's the point of this panel. And it seems like that's the point of this panel, that these people... Ooh, that's a new move. That these people are not discussing.
It has to be done. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it sucks. And you're talking about jobs. How many jobs are those illegals taking from Americans, Piers? How much money? And just
well,
really
how many
fast,
jobs?
Piers,
well, hang on. Well, Vinny, how many jobs? How many jobs are they taking that Americans don't want to do?
That was going well.
Would be my question.
Okay, Piers, guess what? Americans will step up and do the damn job. Okay, Piers,
you
that's just an excuse. And the one thing I want to say, Piers, the one thing I want to say, and I'll give it back to you, when I said why Minnesota, is it weird? Nick Shirley, a 23-year-old kid.
Why the fuck are so many second-generation diaspora so ultra-conservative? Because it usually has to do, Ray, with where they came in from. It's there's a whole fucked up thing. It's the same with Polish people in the UK. That's a great example. Polish people in the UK tend to vote the most conservative out of most ethnic groups, as far as I'm aware. And the exact same protests that are happening in the UK currently against Muslims, for example, are the protests that were happening against Polish people some years back. But hey, who cares, right? Literally the entire panel besides this guy killing citizens is bad, and this guy's, but what about my landscaping dream career? True.
It exposed almost $9 billion of fraud.
10,
the majority
9,
was in
8,
the Somali
7. He's
community,
counting down,
and then all of
chat.
a sudden, all this is happening
He's
to
proven to us
distract
he knows
everybody.
numbers.
Piers, this is all these awesome Somalis that are coming here that are robbing the American taxpayer blind. Anybody, Piers, anybody that is here illegally, and I love that Jilly made the point. The system's broken, meaning for the process. What, Trump's at fault because he's going through with the law? He's going through with exactly what the law says? I voted for it.
True.
77
The law
million
says that
people
you need to
voted for it.
execute
We are
American citizens.
Tired of everybody going, oh, you guys are evil for wanting people gone. What's happening in the UK, Piers? What's happening in Italy and Germany? Okay? They're all crying now, oh, wow, because Keir Starmer and everybody's letting you guys get invaded by all these freaking people, okay? America stays strong. Yes, we let people come in here, Piers, but enough is enough, bro. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough, bro.
Get everybody out, leave.
I didn't believe him, and I wasn't aligned with him, but then he said bro, and now I feel this this sense of familiarity, you know, with my fellow slang-saying angry man, Fifi's McFifister. Now it's a whole different thing, you know. Now I suddenly understand his arguments. Now they fucking game just crashed. What the fuck? I was doing well in that fight.
Come back in the legal way. What's so wrong about saying that? What's so wrong about saying that? Come. There's a line.
Let me ask Lewis.
There's a line. Why?
All right. I'm going to ask Lewis. Lewis, you know, when I
Go ahead, Lewis.
want to work and live in America, well, I've got a home in LA. When I want to, every 3 years, I apply for a visa. It costs me several $1,000s to process. I do it all completely legally. I get all the documentation, all the paperwork. I go to all the interviews.
I don't have my dude now, do
thankfully,
I?
for the last 20
Fuck me.
years, my visa gets renewed and I get to continue living and working in the United States. And what a lot of people who are there, who live in America as citizens, or who have come in and become, green card holders, citizens, whatever you want to say, they say to me is, well, why am I going through all this? Why am I doing things the legal way? As Vinny said, why am I doing things properly and spending money doing it when people can just waltz in over the...
Yeah, Piers, literally nobody likes this waltzing shit. You have to get like the fucking far left fucking... It's not even... I want to say even tankies. You'd have to get one of those no borders people. So like not only tankies, but a specific brand of tankies as well. The whole thing is like, what the fuck are we talking about? Dude, it's insane to me that murder of US citizens is being justified by borders not being safe. So you have to, you're handling immigration by killing US citizens. Fucking big IQ time. Big IQ, anarchists more like. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the open borders people. There aren't fucking many of them. Any of these people beside Piers notable? The black dude's chill. The Brit next to the black dude is kind of weird, but he's fighting the good fight, so he gets a pass. The lady's idealistic but naive as fuck. The Piers is a cunt, and the dude next to him is an unhinged maniac, and I spit on his existence. That's the rundown of the crew here.
border.
Oh, shit.
And then if they get there, we have to keep them.
I completely agree with that, and I agree. Let me say entirely explicitly, I agree with Donald Trump. I also agree with Bernie Sanders, who both say if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. I completely agree with that, and I think that's entirely essential as long as you have a nation state. The question is I'm sure we can all agree on that in principle. The question then, of course, becomes, what about the people who are here already? And although I think there will be universal agreement that certainly anybody who is a criminal ought to be deported, anyone who commits crimes, there are just practical questions that go beyond the theory. For example, what happens when you have got someone who is brought over undocumented as a child? They might have been in the United States or the UK for that matter, or anywhere for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They may have got married. They themselves may have had.
That's why the process is so fucking important. And when you bump into a situation like this one, assuming that you're talking of like they're living the good life, right? They're not a drain on the resources or whatever, but they've got a job. They're like adding to the society. They're trying to in whichever ways they have accessible to them. Or if we're talking about cases like where you've got a disability but you can't work, then you'd get a pass as well in my ideal world. Then you just naturalize them. Just naturalize them and that's it. That's why this fucker is late every time? Because he's dealing with these little shitlings instead of coming in here to fight the boss. Fucking idiot.
Family, children who are themselves citizens as a matter of practicality.
My disability is video games. Doctor, I've known you for a little bit. I've known you for a little bit now. I can certainly assure you that your disability is not just video games, bro. There's gonna be things going on in there. Trust me. With peace and love, go and see a doctor.
What do you do about those? Do you want to be the sort of country which sends someone who has lived and contributed and paid taxes for decade after decade back to a country that they know not at all? It's all very well talking about this stuff in theory. It's about, in reality, what you do in practice, which is precisely why there needs to be immigration reform. But just two points of fact on something that Vinny had said. One is with regards to the UK. There is no invasion of the UK. We're talking about a certain number of irregular migrants. I know this is a sort of obsession with MAGA in terms of what they think is going on in the UK and the misinformation that they see. Yes, there have been too many people that have arrived over the English Channel under successive governments, Conservative and Labour. Both of those governments are doing something about it. More and more of those people are being deported through the proper legal processes. And with regards to why Minnesota and why Minneapolis, why would it be, if this were just a matter of enforcing the border and deporting illegal migrants, why would it be that you would flood ICE agents into a the Twin Cities, which have probably, it's estimated to between 90 and 100,000 illegal migrants of that massive number that you just said, how could it be that you would have more ICE agents in Minneapolis than you have local police officers? This isn't just about immigration. This is about the politics of fear against a blue state and against a blue set of cities. That's why it's not happening in Texas. That's why it's not happening in red states. It's about a show of political force as much as anything else.
Okay, but the argument, Gillian, of course...
I might try and do some challenge dungeons in a second.
The other side is, it was the blue states that were helping to fuel the invasion in the first place.
I'm just going to take the L on this one and do some challenge
that
dungeons.
Millions and millions of people were coming in. And Elon Musk has repeatedly said that he believes the motivation for the Democrats and the blue state...
Well, I mean, if Elon Musk said it, then I've... got to take it, you know, as gospel. If Elon Musk is the one saying this, then wrap it up, boys. We are heading home. There is, that's it. Who cares about Elon? He can't even play games. Do you know what's the best thing about Elon not being able to play games? How it fucking bothers him. That's the thing. It bothers the fuck out of him because he wants to be good at games, but he's not. And instead of actually trying to put in the effort and trying to go through the steps and trying to become better at them, he pays somebody else to play for him, and then he talks about their achievements as his own. And when people laugh at him, it bothers him. My all-time favorite Elon Musk image is the one where he's on the private jet testing out how stable his internet thing is, and he's playing Path of Exile, and he's such a fucking moron that he doesn't even know you can turn chat off, and people in chat are sending him private messages just abusing the shit out of him, and he's there, looks like he's about to cry. It's such a good image. That's exactly what Elon Musk is. Man, do I love it.
And the blue presidencies, the motivation in leaving the border so open was that the majority of people who came in illegally
which one am I going with,
would
chat?
be so grateful that they would end up voting Democrat, and therefore you would change the demographic layout, if you like, of the United States in elections forever, in a way that went slanted Democrat.
Well, you also see it, if in theory, right, if this theory is true that Elon Musk is putting forward, what he's suggesting is that it also games the apportionment map, because it doesn't matter if the population in your state is documented legally or not. The more people you have, the more congressmen you get, or congresspeople that you get, the more electoral college votes you get. California has had a pretty massive outmigration of citizens, I think 1.5 million in the last couple of years. But they've also gotten an influx of people who are undocumented. So it's created a parallel. Now, again, having said that, I can understand why people on the right are like, hey, this is creating shadow economies. They're paying this guy less to do that job, and I would do it if he wasn't here.
It is annoying as fuck, Lou. I keep going back to that, and at this point I'm just tired of repeating it. But US citizens are being murdered by ICE. And we're talking about illegal immigrants. Can we address the ICE sort of fucking issue, or no? Just, I guess just no.
I'd get paid more. Maybe it's true, maybe it isn't, right? Hey, I'm paying all these tax dollars and I'm hearing that they're getting healthcare in California and interest-free loans and all of this stuff that I'm not getting, and I'm a tax-paying citizen and they're not. And it creates huge resentment. Then you have people that did go, like Vinny, like you, who went through the process and did everything right, like you, Piers, and they're like, hey, no. They don't get a pass. This isn't fair. But then, as you were just suggesting, what are we going to do? This is almost like a gun debate. You want to remove guns from America? We got 400 million floating around. How are you going to get them out? Like at some point, what should be is irrelevant with regard to what is. And this is why, again, I cannot say it.
It's so infuriating to see people not point out the big smokescreen Vinny through. That's why, for all his flaws, and he's got many, and we continue to spit on him whenever his name comes up, I like seeing Destiny on these shows. Because at the very least, there's going to be a fucking schizo who's going to match the schizo on the right and who's going to call him names. And if I can't get anything fucking better, I'll take it.
Enough. I think that this dignity bill gives everyone what they want. If you came in illegally, you can have legal status, you pay back taxes, you pay a fine, but you're not a citizen, you can't vote, you can't work here illegally. It removes these shadow economies. It gives kids that were brought here a path to citizenship. It like prevents criminals from being in the country. It forces the state government and the federal government to work together. Like, guys, you're all right in large part. But what do we do about it? Like, can everybody on this panel...
I don't like her. I'm sorry. It's not even that I don't like... It's not even necessarily that, like, I disagree with the meat of what she's saying. I just don't like this both sidesing shit, bro. The current fucking president literally said he who saves his country can break no law. And he sent his fucking Gestapo to start butchering civilians in the streets whilst he's floating the idea that you don't need another term and he can just keep being in charge. And we're doing the both sides shit when we're dealing with somebody who's like probably the closest that in first world countries we've got to a fascist. Like, come on.
Work towards... Look at this legislation.
When Chris becomes dictator, he'll have access to nukes. Just saying, I wish Poland doesn't have any. Poland legit doesn't have nukes. It's fucking tragic, but yeah. I mean, I will eventually have access to nukes because I'm gonna sort this shit out and I'm gonna get Poland nukes. But currently, it's a fucking joke. We don't have shit. We're the fucking border country where... I mean, to be fair, Ukraine more so than us, although we border with fucking Belarus as well, which they do too. But we're like the border country against the fucking Russian regime, and we don't even have nukes, bro. What the fuck?
Work towards moving something like this forward. Like, how can we stop finger pointing? We're tearing each other apart, and this is what they want.
Lisa, you're tearing me apart. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, I have an incredible brain.
Both sides want this shit because the more we fight with each other, the more it rallies both sides of the base.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's just end with a simple question. And I'll start with you, Julian. Should Alex Peretti have been shot?
Of course not. Of course not.
Lewis?
Of course not. It was grotesque.
Mark?
Of course not. It's an absurd idea.
Vinny?
He absolutely should not have been shot, Piers, and he shouldn't have been brainwashed to show up to a freaking federal situation with a gun.
Notice how he's not allowed to say that he shouldn't have been because he's immediately too terrified that he might lose some of his support from his base. So he has to give that qualifier. No, whenever rat fucks do this, remember, right? Because that's literally why he's doing it. He's doing this specifically because he doesn't want to upset his base.
Regardless of what his intentions, holding the camera, period. God rest his soul. Piers, literally, you know who I am. I'm a Christian. God rest his soul. He shouldn't have been there, and he shouldn't have been brainwashed to go in there and interfere with federal law enforcement.
We're not also, just to be clear, real quick, Piers.
I would caveat by saying, I would caveat that by saying that I think he would argue, if he was still with us, that he was exercising his rights to the First and Second Amendment.
Yeah, but American conservatives don't give a fuck. Your First Amendment's gone, your Second Amendment's gone, your right to protest is gone. If you have a track record of voting Democrat, then you either apologize for it and let at least 2 members of the Trump family rape you, or you will get fucking murdered. These people don't care. Like, I don't know what the fuck you'd have to do as a Democrat right now to try and hope for their forgiveness. You'd probably have to go and watch that new dogshit fucking Melania movie, which is basically just a bribe from Jeff Bezos. Nobody's going to watch that shit. So fucked up, man. Money to ball.
That's totally fine. And that's totally fine.
But the interesting part, let's not relitigate all that.
Lovely. Yeah, he just did it. Why would you bring a gun to something like that? Yeah, why would you bring a gun to protest, you know? It's fucking conservatives. It's the there is no Second Amendment anymore. I love it. I love it that the people that I would argue gun rights with are now suddenly on the why would you bring a gun with you bandwagon. They're attacking the 10th and the 14th as well. Is it the 17th that grants women the right to vote? Because they're talking about that one as well. They're not going to do it, to be clear. Well, they will 100% do it. I just don't think they have the infrastructure for it anytime soon. 19th, that's the one. Thank you.
I think the interesting thing is, all four of you agree he shouldn't have been shot. And if we start from that position...
No, but we're not starting
right,
from the same place, Piers. That's my point. Three of us are saying he shouldn't have been shot because the police did something wrong, and one of us is saying he shouldn't have been shot because he shouldn't have been dumb enough to show up there with a gun and protest. And so
Mark, because I know he wants to end. Mark, why was he there? Mark, why was he there? Why was he there?
I'll answer your question. I'll answer your question as long as you let me finish my sentence first. I haven't interrupted you one time. So what I'm saying is that I have a critique of the officers and their behavior. If you show up with a gun to a place where you're allowed to have a gun, and then the gun gets taken from you before you're shot, and you never brandish the gun, you never threaten the officers with the gun, then I'm putting the blame on the police officers. You can always look at someone's actions and say if they had done like the butterfly effect and say, had he not done this, that would not have happened. I'm not disagreeing with that. But the question here is, what is his legal right and what is his moral right? He has a legal right to be there. He had a moral right to be there. He had an ethical right to be there. And what the police did was absolutely horrific. And so while the three of us are saying, yes, he shouldn't have been shot, and you're...
Dude, the theater near me got 100% astroturfed for the Millennium movie. Red, I saw somebody post a listing from Craigslist on Reddit where there was an ad saying that if you agree to go to the movie, the ticket will be paid for, the popcorn will be paid for, and you will be paid $50 at the end when you leave. Yeah. You saw the same one. Yeah, of course it's getting astroturfed. Like, bro, this whole thing is just fucked.
Saying the same thing.
Which is also a shame because Melania doesn't really seem that bad. You know what I mean? Like everything I've seen of her, she seems aight. Like I don't know much about her. She's anti-Putin, I can tell you that much. Actually, I don't know if she's like done the fucking if she's done any of the rapes as well. I'd ask for free food though. If there's no free popcorn, I wouldn't be doing it, bro.
Blaming him for his own death ultimately, and that's the part I find repugnant.
Final word to Vinny.
Mark, you're Mark, I'm with you, brother, 1,000%. First Amendment, Second Amendment, all that stuff.
No, clearly not.
Who told this guy that going to ICE and interfering with them legally taking an illegal out of this freaking country was the right thing to do? It was Tim Walz, and he didn't say just go there and protest. He said get in their faces, and he called them the Gestapo. Mark, they're rallying the freaking troops for a reason, and 70% of these arrests, of these illegals, have criminal histories. Let's just not just crossing the border. 70%, and I know it sucks, Mark. 30% are just people like, hey, you're illegal, you got to go too. But I'm not.
I have a strong feeling that that number has got the fucking Senator Armstrong seal of approval.
Blaming anybody. If you show up there, Mark, you show up, you're responsible for your actions, and then when something happens where you have a gun on your hip with people running around...
Something happening, to be clear, is ICE taking him down, taking his gun away from him, and then executing him. That's the something that happened.
I'm sorry, Mark. These things come with the territory, brother.
Do you know what? I think we've actually reached a place where I finally made some progress in my campaign to stop so many Americans carrying guns. Vinny Ashana has now endorsed my view that America would be a lot safer if fewer of you walked around strapped with guns. I've got there. It's happened. Thank you, Vinny.
That's true.
No. Not
it's
Piers.
A long way from that petition that me deported.
I don't like Piers, but I do like what he's doing here. Fuck the Vinny dude.
No, he just wants his people with guns.
Hey, Piers, I know I thanked you earlier, but I love how all of us could sit here. We could all talk. We could all debate. We could all respect each other. I want to say thank you again. And Piers,
the Vinny dude.
I think I mentioned it before. I think your wife will be okay. For you to be able to come in the country, never have to deal with this drama, I'll marry you. We won't do any funny stuff just to get you papers to come here. That's how much I love you.
You can do.
The MAGA dude is pro-gay marriage and anti-Second Amendment. How does that happen? And he's red as well. He's fucking transracial. What is happening to the MAGA movement? I thought when we saw MAGA communists, I was there like, huh, that's a bit peculiar. And now it's worse. They're making MAGA woke. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with MAGA, man. I'm legitimately curious though, because the thing is, at this point, it's such a fucking boiling pot that if the next Democrat that comes in shits the bed, bro, it's gonna be. I said this in my Discord earlier today. I was half shitposting, but I also have been serious. Like, if the next Democrat in charge doesn't like fucking go after these people hard, I'm gonna become worse than a lot of the anti-democratic tankies in my commentary. Because, dude, you have to do something. This can't be permitted. MAGA guys don't offer homoerotic deal challenge, difficulty impossible. I feel bad. I always feel bad for gay people at moments like this, because gay people are the butt of the joke, and then there's going to be like the underlying implication that like the homophobia is somehow intrinsically linked to the big gay, because otherwise so many homophobes wouldn't have these fucking gay thoughts. And that's bullshit. Gay people deserve better than that. It sucks, man. It genuinely sucks. To put up the joke. Look, Red, I'm making an effort in sounding more PG-13 friendly. For when I do eventually appear on telly. And tell... I can't call people shit cunts when I'm on the telly, man. I'd adopt all my favourite Americans if I could, yeah, but only the favourite ones. I'd adopt the rich ones of you. There is ulterior motive there, though, I'll be honest. Can't take all of them. I was going to say, you can probably take all the chicks, though, can't you? And then I hesitated for some reason. He's going to Count Olaf us. Well, I'd be more competent than Count Olaf was, I want to say. Count Olaf was the... Let's just say with Count Olaf, they were not sending the best of... They were not sending the best of their people, were they?
So much better,
Vinny?
Piers. You can do so much better.
You know what, Vinny? Actually,
Yeah,
I don't think I could. Life,
Are you offering,
life with
Marcus?
Vinny.
I think Marcus is
Life
offering.
with Vinny.
Yes, exactly.
Life with Vinny Oshana
marry
would
me,
never
Piers.
would never be dull. Would never be dull. Thank
Piers,
you all
would
very
carry
much.
a gun.
I've got to leave
You
it
would
there.
be carrying a gun with me.
Well, I interviewed my brother earlier, actually, yesterday, and he was one of the crack shots in the British Army. So it's not like my family have an aversion to guns. In fact, some of them are very, very good with guns. He just preferred to do it on a battlefield.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I just think that guns are cool. That's all. If I lived in America, I'd have a whole bunch of guns, and I'd go and shoot them sometimes. I would probably spend way too much money on guns, and my fiance would not be happy about it. But it's one of those things, you know? Pepper gun would be amazing. What the fuck's a pepper gun, bro? I'm talking about real straps, okay? I'd be blasting like Frank Reynolds, bro. This might be the worst episode of Bachelor I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot. How many of these episodes have you watched? Where the fuck are these... Where the fuck is everything coming from? Oh, chat. Did you see that Code Vein 2 came out? It's $70. And it's got Denuvo on, and it's apparently not optimized at all. Like, the optimization is proper dog shit. Why are they still doing that? I didn't think you'd run out of React. I still have the other one. Internet versus Lakari. Right, we've got the fucking Lakari part 2. I was thinking about wrapping up a little bit sooner today, but that's not quite yet. That's, we got ages, bro. Ages. I don't know, bro. I've been playing Enfield non-stop. Dude, I'm trying to get into Enfield. I'm making like an actual legitimate conscious effort. And every time the factory comes up, I want to fucking kill myself. I heard it's a terrible game to boot, so aside from all that, it's, I mean, to be fair, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen that many good reviews, I'll be honest. Most things so far have been pretty not great. Which sucks, everything sucks. Do you know what's the worst? I remember it like it was yesterday. It's gonna be like one of my fucking fond memories dying. It's gonna be all of like my cool family shit that I'm doing, and my marriage, and all of that cool shit, and then it's gonna be the release of Sekiro. Dude, do you know how good the release of Sekiro was? The game was optimized using some new fucking experimental NASA technology. It was only 12 gigs. It downloaded in like 10 minutes. There were no server issues of any variety. The installation and the unlock of it was smooth as fuck. Just through and through. I think legitimately, Sekiro might have been the best release that I've ever seen of any game ever. And we're never going to have that again. The bar was set too high. We're never having that again. Dude, nowadays fucking Genshin Impact is 7 million fucking gigabytes. It's a From Software, they always release great. They always release decent. Sekiro was a whole different thing. Sekiro was incredible. That was legitimately the best game release that there has ever been and ever will be. Oh shit, that's a gun. Fucking Boyo's got a strap. Elden Ring release wasn't great, actually. Do you know that I don't remember Elden Ring's release? I wonder if I was doing something when the game released, and maybe I was doing it like a day later or something. Could I call in about the whole Minnesota situation before? Yes, Monolith, actually. Is this the right one? Yeah, it should be. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Just in the kitchen and doing some cooking.
No worries, what you cooking?
Some pasta.
What, just pasta? Nothing else?
I'll add some sauce, but you know, one of those in the bowls. You know, pesto.
Oh, I had spaghetti today.
Yeah, spaghetti. Yeah, but about the whole situation with, well, the whole immigration and Minnesota thing. Like, I feel like those things are just side effects and symptoms of something that the Orange Man himself introduced when he came into politics. The whole being so aggressive, being like, oh, so against the morality, the anti-woke shit and stuff like that.
I mean, sort of. A lot of it is an offshoot of those politics. Like, the immigration thing in America has been a thing for as long as I've been alive, at the very least, probably longer than that. So it's always been a contentious issue. It's just I don't think there's ever been anyone who wanted to solve it at the expense of American citizens. Because Obama deported a fuck ton of people, and I don't remember Obama needing to execute Americans to get that done.
I think the difference with Trump is him being so aggressive about it, and even, you know, introducing the whole violence as a political thing. You know, the whole thing with him, with during his rallies, people chanting "lock her up" about Hillary.
Oh, rallies is one thing. He's the Second Amendment. People can do something about it, common. But he tried an insurrection, right? That's what January 6th was, an attempted insurrection.
Yeah.
People were chanting "Hang Mike Pence," like the.
Yeah.
It's insane, man.
And I think his entrance and how he acted introduced something into the right wings, the conservatives of America, like this whole violence thing.
Because, I think it just, for a lot of them, it just it became this sort of a lot of these people were always bloodthirsty. It's just with him, it was never before allowed to be so open. Like
yeah,
now
that
it's just
is what
fully just they don't have to hide with it anymore. And it looks like the less they hide, the more open they are about just wanting people to be killed on the streets of America, the more support they garner.
Yeah, that is the thing I wanted to mention, that because of how Trump acted, that those kind of people decided, hey, if the president says that shit, then I can do as well. Like one of the example is, I think, Nick Fuentes. Like I didn't see too many clips of him, but I seen enough to have my opinion that he's just the worst, a piece of shit.
He is, but I want to say Fuentes has been like that for a long time. I don't know. I just don't know how much I would attribute to Trump, because Fuentes is. I'm just trying to think. Fuentes is the same age that I am. 2016 was when Trump won. Sorry, so that would have been 10 years ago. So Fuentes would have been 18 at the time. When does anyone in chat know the law? Was Nick Fuentes already a groyper, like already an online figure before his 18th birthday, or did he come about like around the same time as Trump did? Because I was under the impression that like he doesn't align with Trump on a lot of things. Like one of the biggest ones is actually the attitude to Israel, right? Fuentes is not even anti-Israel. Fuentes is just anti-Jew, and Trump is giga pro-Israel. It definitely lets Fuentes, like, it gives him more of a pass. But I want to say that he's like he's a whole fucking disease on his own.
Yeah. What I fear is that with how Trump acts, like those more extreme people will try more, politics stuff, and I'm sure as shit that the old Republicans aren't quite ready for the things the people like Nick Fuentes will bring.
Well, yeah, with Fuentes, it's what Lua just said in chat, is that Fuentes doesn't really support Trump because Trump isn't enough of a Nazi for him. Like, that's the degree of removed that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
As for the new wave, it will depend largely, right? It depends on a lot of this. Unironically, that's why I keep fucking hammering home the shit. I keep mentioning Democrats every other sentence. It feels like sometimes, specifically because a lot of the fallout will depend on the Democratic reaction to it. It depends on how hard and how swiftly they come down on the people who are doing this shit.
Yeah, they can't have like the situation like after 2020 where the fucking DOJ just fucking picked rocks for 2 years before trying to actually investigate Trump for all his felonies, and he just manages to luck out and run out of time on the statute of limitations with some of these things.
Not familiar with that specifically. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, there's just this. With this, it's not gonna be a statute of limitation shit. It's gonna be they're gonna have to come down really hard on, particularly the ICE agents that we know the identity of, who have done some of the murders. Like, those people will have to. Like, I struggle. I can't even really. I can't think of how effectively they'd have to punish them for me to be satisfied. Like, it literally is Trump's fucking Gestapo. If they don't come down on them as hard as humanly possible and then some more, then, like, I'm just going to lose my faith in their ability to do anything in face of fucking fascism rising.
Yeah. Also, with that whole running out on the clock, I think it's more like, they told enough for him to actually run and become, immune from prosecution and shit until he won the election.
There could be. There's so much with the legalities there. I know that he is actively not adhering to court orders as well. So there's a whole bunch of that happening. I mean, what else can you expect from a dude who literally says out loud, "He who saves his country can break no law"? Like, that's a literal permission right there to break the law, so long as you're zealous enough in your belief that you're doing it for a grander cause.
Also, he did say he regretted not stealing the ballots, stealing the ballots to rig the election. back in 2020.
Yeah, he's a fucking maniac. Although, yeah, it's what Lua just said as well. If for the legal analysis, Pisco's going to be really good on that. So if there is a case of that having happened, then Pisco's going to have a video on it for sure.
I did know that I recently watched the video, something about. Give me a second, because
Legal Eagle's pretty good as well, but Legal Eagle is it's different than with Pisco.
Give me a second, because I have it.
Legal Eagle is really
here.
good, actually. I really like Legal Eagle. He just seems like such a fucking cool dude. Obviously, it's parasocial of me to say because I don't know what he's like privately, but he seems like just a genuinely good person.
Ah, yes. I was watching a video by someone named Jimmy the Giant called "The Terrifying Rise of Vice Signaling."
Oh, no idea what that is. But if you throw it up in like content recommendation or somewhere in there so I can check it out later, I most probably will.
Yeah, I watched it like during a car ride, and it was just a story about how when at first though the people with the Democrats were doing the whole virtual signaling thing, using virtues in their campaigns. But yeah, I'll definitely throw it up in the recommendations.
Stepan, is that the one about Honey, the browser extension that would basically yoink people's affiliate codes? If so, then yeah, we've watched that. And we've got a palette cleanser, kind of. We've got the Lakari situation. There's more drama to do with Lakari, so we'll probably move on to that quite soon.
All right, but that was all I wanted to mention about that stuff.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. I feel you. Also, I understand the desire to just like jump in and say something, because it just seems so fucked that you hear about these things and you think to yourself like, no shot, that's actually what happened, right? People are just like misreporting, or it's like taken out of context or whatever. And then you look into it, and yeah, that is literally what happened.
Yeah, it's just so. Bro, it's not even a month in, and I already feel fucking tired by this.
Yeah, 30th of January. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse.
Man, I really hope this year. Well, I'm guessing it won't pass by fast, but I just hope we all be here by the end of it.
We will. I hope not all of us are going to be here by the end of it. I hope that, some people die of old age. There's quite a few dictators that I would absolutely love it if they fucking kicked it. As for my chatters, I hope we'll all be here.
But yeah, that was all I wanted to say about that whole thing with ICE, Minnesota, and the Orange Menace.
I get you, buddy. Yeah. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure as always.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Lakari the palette cleanser, Keck. What, do you not believe that Lakari could be a good palette cleanser? We've got a second Internet Versus video. I'm amazed that with how monotone this dude sounds, that like his channel has taken off the way it did.
Week, we cover the allegations against live streamer Lakari, where he opened a notepad on stream to show some pretty sus NSFW files, where in those files some of the names suggested potentially illegal content. However, since then, Lakari has put out a response on Twitter, where in it he says he is going to an addiction rehab facility.
In that case, we're going to rewatch all three. Once all three are out, I feel like we can make that like a whole stream thing, because I remember the Honey situation. That's proper fucked.
Along with saying he would never consume 3D content, he only does 2D, and that nothing he consumes involves minors. However, as of yesterday, he also added a follow-up to this tweet saying that actually all the content that was in the folder has been reviewed, and none of the content was actually illegal. Rather, it was just hosted on regular adult websites. Many online talked about this after a user on 4chan claimed they went through all the links and found nothing illegal. However, many still question Lakari's intent with having a folder like this on his PC in the first place and searching for this online. Welcome to the internet's versus Lakari's response. It starts with Lakari putting out a statement by saying, "During my last stream, I opened a notepad which revealed a link. The list in the link included titles that suggested pizza material farther down. I have never consumed this type of content, nor do I think it's acceptable. I decided to keep streaming in an effort to downplay this."
Also, as a quick reminder, guys, if you are watching on YouTube, I also highly encourage you to follow on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, I highly encourage you to like the stream on YouTube. That helps me in the algorithm greatly. Regardless of where you're watching, I have a Discord. If you do exclamation Discord in either of the chats, you should get a link to it. And I highly encourage you to join that Discord. There's a whole bunch of cool people in there.
Severity of the situation, which was deceptive. This was a mistake that I deeply regret and apologize for. The link gave access to abusive material for anyone to see. This is serious and harmful. I recognize that trivializing abusive material on stream is not okay and can lead to real harm. It's my responsibility to provide a safe space for my community and peers, in which I failed to do. I am taking real steps to change my ways. I've admitted myself into a porn addiction recovery program that will last 30 days. During this time, I'll be able to work out there while also receiving professional therapy and a treatment for my addiction. Browsing hentai and porn websites as an escape has been a serious problem for as long as I can remember. This treatment will come with an indefinite hiatus to my live streams to allow myself to focus on recovery, so I can hopefully contribute a net positive to society. And JStalk replies, "You still haven't explained why you had 2 tabs open in your notepad that could be pizza. The second tab is at least as concerning as the first and obviously points to you intentionally searching for jades. Explain the second tab or fuck off, dude." Showing the first.
Why? Since when is CSAM and pizza a thing that we're doing on YouTube? Where did that come from? Did I miss something? Was there like a gathering and everyone voted on what the word's going to be? Because I'll be honest with you, I would not have voted for this. No, Monolith, I do not.
Which was exposed on stream, along with another one that says 500 JBT video. Hancock replies to this picture of a YouTube news story with the title, "Man convicted of rape tells victim, sorry y'all, my bad." Sug says, 30 days of rehab? You need to be in jail for 30 years.
I get you.
Set Me Free Tonight says, I've never consumed this type of content, nor do I think it's acceptable. Few lines later, I'm taking real steps to change my ways. I've admitted myself into a porn addiction recovery program that will last 30 days. What are you even saying, man? And Drew replies, well, the first part, he was saying he doesn't consume pizza. The second part was that he watches too much normal porn. It wasn't that hard to decipher. Josh Moon replies to Lakari by saying, "My Neezy, you are toast. Just give up. There's no path forward from that." Oh, Rar replies, "It's okay, Lak. We forgive you." And Luke Cartier replies, "He was looking at kids, bro. The fuck you mean forgive him?" Lakari then follows.
No, not CSAM, Lua. Pizza. Pizza, like the food that you cut into it comes out round and you cut it into triangles and then you put it in your mouth.
Up his original post, attaching a second tweet saying, "I want to clear up 2 things while I'm getting my shit together. I'm only into 2D hentai content. I don't watch, seek out, or download real-world 3D porn, and I do not engage."
Incriminating in the way we incriminating like legally, she don't know. Court of public opinion, bit of a rougher situation, but no, as of right now, to my understanding, there's nothing that legally incriminates Lakari
with or support anything involving minors in any form. After the stream, the files and links that showed up were looked into. There is no illegal material on them. The problem was how bad some of the titles looked and the fact that I didn't shut things down fast enough on stream. This is on me. I handled everything poorly. I get why people are troubled, and I should have taken it more seriously in the moment. I'm owning up to that, and I wanted these facts to be clear. Thanks for allowing me this time so I can focus on fixing myself. And Night Kitten replies, "The files and links were looked into. By who? Police, I hope? How the fuck are you determining whether or not what's there is legal?" And Gay replies, "Literally random people on 4chan that were definitely not him, wink wink, who posted claims that they were X video links with no screenshots or any evidence to back up the claim besides I said so." And Beautiful Al replies, "They posted screenshots. The videos were posted on a forum called Redacted by a guy called Redacted several years ago. Titles of the videos there are exactly the same as the titles from the notepad, and also listed in the same order." And Gay replies, "Ah, so he was just looking for pizza. He didn't actually find it. Gotcha." Inspector Al says, I'm confused. Were they pizza or not? And Hellman Joyer says, if they were pizza, they would have been removed a long time ago, but they haven't. It's a scam site with a loop of ads for you to click so they get money from it. Over on our livestream fail, Digital Pizza also posts the follow-up post that Lakari put out with the caption, Lakari posts a tweet attempting to clarify the situation regarding these suspicious links. And Ultra Lifeform replies, I'm only into 2D hentai content. I don't watch, seek out, or download real 3D world porn. A collection of words that no human would ever think to speak, interpret, see, hear, view, but somehow landed in front of my eyes. And First Push replies, he's going the lesser of two evils route. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Palitz replies, he investigated himself and found no wrongdoing. Case closed. And Anna 10 says, 4chan investigated him. They found all the videos from the notepad on a public and legal forum, posted there by a guy called Redacted several years ago in a thread called the Teen Couples. They're even posted there in the same order as in the notepad. All of the videos were legal. They posted screenshots so that anyone can spend 2 minutes doing some research and check it themselves if they don't believe it. The links to /files at the top was just malware and scams. And about as real as an ad saying, congratulations, you have won a trip around the world. Just click here to claim it, after you give us your credit card info. And Spicy Boy on Campus replies, if this is true, he needs to hire some sort of reputable firm to do an investigation. It won't save his reputation, but it could at least give his statement some credibility. And the Celtic Dragon says, including the family news.
Is that even the thing that you can do? Like, what does that mean? Hire a credible firm to investigate? Like what, like a lawyer? Because a PR firm wouldn't do shit here.
Nudism? Why family, do you think? Say that link is not illegal somehow. What do you usually find when looking for family nudism? And What Facer replies, it's not illegal. It's just used by pedos to get around the law. And Richu says, so basically he won't go to jail, but also he should still be treated as a pedo. Lol. Sub to PewDiePie on YouTube says, thought he checked himself into rehab for 30 days, 5 days ago, to atone and fix the addiction. Weird. And Small Wall says, he forgot to get a dog. Rookie mistake.
That's what I'm thinking, Lua. Yeah, because what would that conversation with a lawyer or with a PR firm look like? Hey, I'm going to send you a notepad with a whole bunch of links, and I need you to access those links and watch the videos to determine if there's child porn on them. Like, that's why sometimes these Reddit comments are just like, I wonder what the person writing them was thinking. Like, what do you mean he needs to hire a firm? I want to know specifically what the fuck you think an organization out there is that you can hire for something like this. Because the person was clearly thinking something, right? I just want to know what they were thinking.
Fake. And Fozy replies, he doesn't want to get tempted. IHPPXNG62020 says, I recommend looking up the VOD so people can keep track of the explanations. It was a virus. He didn't know what it was. It was just part of something he torrented. Websites just download stuff to your PC. He knew what it was, but once he realized, it deleted it. He's just into 2D anime lollies, but the links and files just never indicate it's anime at all. He didn't pay for it, so it's all good. Later, Afterban goes on Twitter to apologize for porn addiction, goes to rehab but plays League. Now another tweet saying actually he's innocent but is working to fix himself. Everything just looks so bad and sus.
The deleting of the notepad, that's the shit that like kind of doesn't make sense, right? The idea that he initially didn't know what it was and then it was a virus and then he knew what it was because he tried deleting it, but on Windows 11 it doesn't delete. But I have Windows 11. When I delete a notepad, it does get deleted, so I don't know what that means.
There was another comment from a previous thread where they use an analogy of, you eat babies, but you ate only part of it, not all, so it's all good. I don't think this is accurate. I think it's more like a going...
He made it the worst by trying to stream through it, Lua. That was the... I don't know what the fuck he was thinking with that one. The streaming through it was... When people say stream through it, they don't mean in the moment. Right? The idea is to... They don't mean in the moment, bro.
To a restaurant that serves babies on the menu, but you go there regularly for the chicken, so it's all good. How hard is it for this guy to...
I'm gonna bring the React over to main screen because I don't really feel like playing a video game right now.
Just to stick with DL sites and hentai Jav sites instead of digging through forums for totally legal content. And why...
Oh, chat, today is the last stream of January. So if you wanted to throw some coinage my way so it hits the February payouts, today's the last day you can do that. And I would also appreciate if you did that. Just, you know, just saying.
Zias replies, like, he is obviously lying. And if what I read in this thread is true and those links didn't lead to illegal material, it feels undeniable, given the names of the links he even had saved, that he absolutely was looking for that kind of material. There's also comments made by Lakari's ex-girlfriend Kyuko. Slight ad posts this clip on the livestream fail subreddit with the caption, Lakari's ex Kyuko shares something shocking.
I think I mentioned it before, like previously. I had a really very traumatic past with like sexual assault, imagine telling your ex that you got diddled as a kid by a family member, and then finding out on the World Wide Web that's the sick shit he jerks off to. And now you question every interaction with him, thinking, is he getting off to the ideal? Like I had some really bad like triggers yesterday, because I really that was a lot for me.
I did not see the worst shit, Lua, no.
Like, it was a lot for me.
Everyone's getting outed as an abuser or a nonce.
Didn't expect it.
That's what was supposed to happen when Destiny and Miskiff, Miskiff at least doing something now, but when Destiny was talking about how he's going to take 20 people down with him, like, yeah, do that, bro. There are abusers on this platform. Out them. Don't just fucking stop with raped on. Do more.
So fucking disgusted and so fucking repulsed.
And Krampus replies, this is so sad. And Lontology says, hopefully she has a great support system because it's easy to spiral when suddenly triggered by something like that. And Arthur's replies, yeah, sudden attention like this can really take a toll on someone mentally. And Why Lonel says, how do you fall in love with Lakari? And Ardo replies, ain't no way that Gooner Potato MF pulled this girl, what the fuck? And Mr. These Guys replies, moderately popular streamer guy gets with OF girl is a tale as old as time. Christmas Chan says, she chose him, and she chose him despite knowing full well he already had lolicon allegations against him. The streaming world is full of fake, dishonest clout chasers like her. Lakari didn't have many viewers as other big streamers.
Well, no. Isn't it plausible that if those were just allegations and he denied it, then she simply believed him? That's a bit of a leap, no?
But he did have a lot of connections, probably more so than even Miskiff. She also dated Miskiff for the same reason. OF girls have no morals, always remember that. They're opportunistic and will always flip if it's beneficial to them. Holz replies, looking at past streams and videos, there were so many signs that he was into weird stuff. It's about time that he's finally exposed for being the horrible person that he is. And Bridgeman says, I mean, it was blatantly obvious. The problem is everyone thought it was just a streaming persona, because nobody can be that much of a degenerate. The thing is, streamers, they're not acting. Lakari just is actually creepy and degenerate. NMP Lol is actually creepy and degenerate. Asmongold does actually have terrible hygiene. And Chill the Sloth replies, Soda is actually gay. And speaking of old clips, one went viral on LSF by Bubbly Minutes with the caption, Lakari's friend and known NYC stream sniper Hentai Lord talks about his illegal file sharing history and says that Lakari was his first customer.
Are you a gooner?
I tell you, like, I used to distribute videos hentai. Shit, I tried to cut it, but I couldn't. So I was getting a lot of money because of that. People was downloading my videos on Mega Upload. I don't know if you heard that website.
I do.
Yep. So I was big on Mega Upload.
As the hentai lord.
People call me the hentai lord. There you go.
You were the lord for the gooners.
Yep.
You were their savior.
Yep.
You gave the people what they wanted.
Yep. And you know who's my first customer?
Who?
He's a streamer too.
Oh my god, Leek!
You might know him. Well, people mid-chat might know him.
Who?
Lakari. You know who Lakari is?
The black dude.
There you go.
Oh my god, he is your first customer?
Yeah.
How do you know? Wait, are you allowed to leak that?
We've been friends for a long time.
Oh, now you just oh my god, that is crazy. The lore is deep. Ah, so did you guys stream together on Justin TV?
No, I was streaming. He wasn't at that time. So I was part of his guild on a game called Terra Online.
Uh-huh.
The guild name was Men Up. And that was his second command. He was the leader.
Wow. And how did he know that you were selling hentai?
Because I was giving him all the links.
Wait, how did you get the hentai?
I just downloaded it from torrents. And then I got some people who translate in English. And I'm just uploading.
Wait, why can't they just get it from torrent? They're lazy?
They're lazy.
Dude.
And 4-star replies, how do you fuckers remember like every single off?
How is he so casual about that? Feels like one of those father law reveal moments. I mean, he's probably casual about it because number one, it's in the past, and number two, because obviously lolly's illegal in a lot of those places, but I'm assuming that that aside, he doesn't have anything illegal in there. Terra and League are clearly pedophile dog whistles. Terra was, I don't know if you know, Lua. I played Terra Online. I was a kid back then. Terra Online had a race that you could choose as one of your playable races. It was called Ellen, if I remember correctly. Terra Online Ellen. Yeah, Elin, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's spelled E-L-I-N. And Ellens are basically, I mean, if you Google graphics it, you will know exactly where everything leads. And that's exactly where it leads. Skimpy outfits for Ellens were selling out incredibly well. I remember feeling so fucking weird because I was underage at the time. And I remember playing Terra Online and there were just a lot of dudes around me gooning to Ellens, and it was just fucking weird, bro. Like, unironically, I loved the Popori people, the guys in the guild who were really into Popori, because somehow the furries felt more normal than the lolicons. Popori were funny as well. That was such a cool race. Silly little animal people.
And comment or just moment that ends up adding context to a current situation. This shit is from almost a year ago. Did you literally file this away in your brain or save it just in case? And Sabretooth replies, for real. Do these people just start watching every VOS to find any moment for clips like this? And Cultural Duty says, the internet has the most craziest people. They can literally find anything if they want to. Ikus Himder says, who actually watches this stuff? Like, so many videos get posted here and I wonder every single time what you get from watching brain dead people drive around in a car. And Bryce Code says, jobless parasocial autist is the best summary I can give you. And No Elevator replies, bro, my college roommate was an LSF 1% commenter. He don't play games, don't go hang out, don't leave his dorm. He has 4 streams up at the same time while he's eating dinner at his desk.
Meanwhile, I could play Blade and Soul and you could stylize your Ellen equivalent to be an old man. I don't understand that sentence, Oski.
The people that have these clips ready to post.
The 2D Minecraft game? No, Cheeto, you're thinking of Terraria, not Terra Online is an MMORPG that was shut down since.
Daddy Dorian says, clip only mentions hentai, which is legal when characters are adults, and that he was re-uploading torrents to mega upload to get commission per each download. So there were no customers, and the illegal aspect he talks about is just piracy. Not defending Lakari's action, but this clip sounds like a forced pile up to me. And Joe Bushan says, yeah, this is a dumb post. OP probably didn't even watch the entire video and posted after hearing illegal. Nothing here but piracy. Then Alice, or Toupee, also went live talking about this situation. This is a girl who lived with and is dating Lakari, and she tweets out her VOD with the caption, most of everyone's concerns are answered in my recent VOD. Please watch this before you decide to comment. Thank you all for your patience during this difficult time. And Nihao replies,
nothing that you could enjoy your wuxia furry old man in. Yeah, but I don't understand what the sentence of Ellen equivalent to be an old man is. Ellen is a playable race of little girls. The Ellen equivalent old man, that's not a sentence, you know what I mean? That's why I'm confused, because I don't know what you mean by that. Do you just mean that in Blade and Soul you can make your character look old? Because if I remember correctly, you could do that in Terra too.
Does someone give me a TLDR? Did she know he was a pedophile or was she unaware? Did they break up yet? And Tyler says she was unaware. While not explicitly answered, she did say that she won't be getting involved with him or his legal matters anymore. So most likely yes. Overall, a very unfortunate situation. Not her fault at all. Then some people clipped Toupé's response like a doomed scroller who posted with the caption, Lakari's current girlfriend Toupé recently streamed to discuss the situation. Stated that he is only suspended for 7 days on Twitch, that she had received harassment referring to her as a pedophile apologist. Friends and peers have distanced themselves from them. Attaching this tweet from Alice where she says, I've received a lot of messages recently. I appreciate so much of those who have checked up on me. I really needed those prayers and kind words more than you know. I plan on going live today at 6 p.m. All I ask is for patience and support from all the communities during this time. And then he attaches this clip.
I will continue doing what I normally do.
Another one.
I know Lakari is banned off of
Thank you for the
Twitch and Kick. I'm very aware of that. I know his Kick ban is permanent, and his Twitch ban is, I believe, temporary, 7 days. But even when he comes back, I will not be streaming with Lakari.
If he's cleared of this and it ends up just having been like hacked / lolicon type shit, he'll get unbanned on Kick. There's no shot that Kick bans lolicons. There's so many lolicons on that platform that I know of that if banning lolicons was a thing that they do, bro, I can give you a list. What's that fucking Natsu Miku cunt? What's the Nachisu Miku, that one, right? He's a lolicon.
M. Mao replies, I genuinely would rather shoot myself live on camera than ever humiliate myself like this for a man. Girl, if that's not your SBF by midnight, you're torturing yourself. Illegal content or not, he's got 3 terabytes of porn. That's disgusting. And Pocket replies, imagine still being his girlfriend after finding out he's a pedo. And Dr. Chris says, you don't think she watches the game Gooner Degen shit he does? Then Throwaway233 also posted this clip from Toupé's stream. It's an extended clip of her response from her 1-hour response stream with the caption, Lakari's girlfriend Toupé gets emotional after harassment.
When I went on social media and I saw the clip of what was on his stream, I didn't even know what to say. I was so shocked. I can't even really begin to describe like how I felt when I saw those things. And that's when my phone started blowing up. I started receiving a lot of comments from people saying like I'm a pedo defender. People were questioning my age. I got a lot of body shaming comments. I have checked his Discord. I have checked his Twitter. I have checked his...
I couldn't clock the... Yeah, I couldn't clock it at first. Lua, what it would have been shit like them saying that he was attracted to her because she looks like a child. Right? Because she's skinny. And they think that he's into children, right? Because of CP. So they'll have been attacking her for saying that he's into her because she looks like a child. It is the same body shaming that petite women have to, generally speaking, deal with whenever lolicon's brought up, even like absent real human beings like involved in the comparison. You know what I mean? That's at least what I'm guessing. That's creepy to say. Oh, of course it is. It's fucking unhinged to say, but that most probably will have been the comments that she's seen.
Instagram. I have checked all of these things, and also with consent. He knows I look at this stuff, or I looked at this stuff. And from what I saw on everything, there was obviously nothing there. Lakari doesn't use Instagram. Lakari doesn't DM people on Twitter. And his Discord is just normal stuff, like messaging his friends and things like that. I've never seen anything like unusual on his stuff. I'm not the only one who has been affected by this. Like, I've had my friends who, like, aren't even streamers, like, don't know anything about streaming, reach out to me because they were messaged by people. Just because I tagged them in a post or I posted them or whatever it is. So I will be keeping my distance away from everything for my protection, for my friends' protections, for my family's protection, for everyone's protection. If this is something legal, he needs to deal with that. Obviously this is. There's a lot of concern and I'm not sure where that's gonna go. Like, this all happened like literally 2 days ago. And so much has happened and I don't even know what's going to happen. I don't know what the plans are. As far from my knowledge, I'm just keeping my distance. I don't know the answers to a lot of questions. I don't. I wish I did. But just like everyone, like, I didn't know about any of this. I was kind of just thrown into this. Like, I'm not that different from, like, a viewer. Like, all the information that I've gathered was from other people. Not even, like, through Lakari. He has his own stuff that he's dealing with. And I don't want to ask him. I don't want to know. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to, like, message him and be like, hey, like, no, I don't know. I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be involved. This all makes me so sick. Just being called these things and hearing these things, it's so disgusting. I've been so sad. This has nothing to do with me. Like, I'm not involved in this at all.
I feel for her.
I had nothing to do with
That's gotta be a shitty situation to be in.
Stanimal replies, she's fake crying, bruh. What the fuck is going on? Big Smoke says, Lala, she looked like a kid. Lakari a weirdo. However, there are also various...
See, we've just seen an example of that. Yeah, the body shaming shit.
Messages that Toupe sent in her Discord about the situation where she is replying to someone who is talking about Miskiff because Miskiff offered to pay her rent on a stream. And this user says, the gesture of offering to pay the rent is nice, but he hurt Emmy back then. Poor Emmy. And Toupe replies, I don't support Miz in any way. He's a piece of shit. Him saying he wants to help is a lie. He pretended to donate to me on stream to look good, then said, oh, her tips are off, which was a lie. He just wanted to seem like he wants to help me, but he just wants to look like a savior. There's so many things he did to Emmy that are unforgivable. Literally paid people to downvote her stuff on Reddit and hate on her. And Izanagi replies, nah, I always never liked Miz. He's an insecure piece of shit who I feel like should not deserve to be forgiven, not gonna lie. And another message of Toupe replying to a user saying, what is this, for real? Texas gives a fuck about this. Unlike in my world, no shit like this ever gonna happen. With Toupe replying, Texas porn laws are so stupid, to be honest. Regular porn is banned too. And then Toupe replies to Izanga's old message we just read by saying, he's a liar, straight up. And then another user sends a message saying, just saw Yeet posted on X about your statement. Glad no negative comments about you, thank God. And Toupe replies, luckily not much hate, to be honest, which I'm so grateful for. People assume I know, but how am I supposed to know about something potentially illegal? As if he would trot around announcing it to us. Nobody would have known that stuff, obviously. Miskiff then responded to these messages, and Sonic tweets out the clip with the caption, Miskiff reacts after Lakari's ex, Toupe, calls him a liar and accuses him of pretending to donate to look good. Miskiff fires back asking for proof.
Lakari's girlfriend. I don't support Miz in any way. He's a piece of shit. Him saying he wants to help us is a lie. He pretended to donate to me on stream to look good and then said, oh, her tips are off, which is a lie. He just wanted to see if he wants to help me. I literally did. Didn't you say you turned your tips off on stream? She said she's turning off notifications. I literally tried.
Those sound the same.
This wasn't
things?
showing up when I tried to donate. Why would I just not donate $500? I'm not going to do it now, but this wasn't showing up when I tried to donate. I mean, regardless, let's keep reading. There's so many things he did to Emmy that are unforgivable. Literally paid people to downvote her stuff on Reddit and hate her.
Dude, I dislike Miskiff so much. He's such a cunt. It's the biggest fucking tragedy of him beefing with Tectone right now is that if a lot of this information came from literally anyone else, it would have been more believable.
Where is that?
Donate, please.
Where is that proof? Where is that proof? I downvoted stuff on her on Reddit and hate on her. Why are you attacking me when your boyfriend has pedophilia on a notepad, bro? You have more important things to worry about. I literally watched her stream, supported her, and tried to donate.
I don't care about Miskiff trying to make himself sound good.
Confused. What did I do wrong? I even said that I would pay her legal fees.
The Austin whispers be going crazy about you.
Like,
I think the end of this is just Miskiff yapping. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. I don't really care about what Miskiff has to say on this note specifically. Him beefing with Lakari's ex-girlfriend is like the least important thing, I think, in all of this. He is a piece of shit. I'm so lost. I am too. That's why I feel like there's no point with this particular bit here at the end. It's the bottom line is we know, right? With the first 20 minutes of this was super relevant. The rest of this is Miskiff, don't care. Shit, what time is it? Here's what we're going to do, chat. A bit abrupt, I do apologize, but I'm going to raid us out. I'm going to call it a day here, because there's one other thing that I want to do. We'll see what the weekend brings. And obviously, whatever the weekend brings, I'll be back with you on Wednesday. I will be raiding us out into Pisco, because I can see that he's live right now. So this is going to be a Pisco raid, and I'll be heading out. I will... Actually, I'm not sure if it will be soon, but I will have some... I'll have marriage news for you, relatively... in the near future, let's just say. So that will be a nice little community bonding thing that we can do. In either case, thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening to me. I will be back with you next week. Good night. Sleep tight. Take care. And if you need anything, then as always, just let me know on Discord. Bye-bye, and take care.